So Warren Buffett's motto was get 20%. I wish I had time to show you how the rule of 72 works. I wish I had time to show you, but I'll just tell you, if you could get 24% per year, 24%, like if you get 24% per year, if you start with $1,000 and you never put any more money in it, and you can get 24% per year, in 36 years, you have $4,096,000. Why? Because that's what we call a millionaire rate of return, right? So, the last guy I'm going to tell you about is Bill Gates. He had a wealth formula. Here's Bill Gates' wealth formula. Everybody ready for Bill Gates' wealth formula? Say I'm ready. Here we go, and I'm getting ready to wrap it up. Here's Bill Gates' wealth formula. He said if you want to create wealth, first of all, you have to have a vision for the future of an industry. What does that mean? You have to see where something is going before it gets there. How many of y'all got it? Say I got it. Remember I told you about principles? Principles contain patterns. These patterns give you the ability to make predictions. These predictions give you the ability to position yourself in front of the parade instead of behind the parade. He said you got to have a vision for the future of an industry. I am telling you right now that cryptocurrency is the biggest financial boom in world history. And it doesn't matter whether I say it or not, it is what it is. And you either get to play in that arena or you get to watch other people play in that arena and say, yeah, I should have listened, right? So he said you have to have a vision for the future of an industry. He said you have to be at the right place at the right time. I promise you, in 10 years, you will realize that you have never in your life heard a more important presentation than the one I just gave you. 10 years. Now, some of you realize it right now. Some of you, the rest of you will realize it in 10 years. You are in the right place at the right time. The third thing he said was this: you have to take massive and immediate action. And I'm going to tell you something. One of the biggest problems that Americans have is that we take small actions and we do it after we think about it, after we sleep on it, after we talk to the milkman and the mailman and the dog catcher about it. And we talk to our next door neighbor. If they knew that much about making money, they wouldn't be your neighbor. They'd live in a different neighborhood. Right? So what we have to do is we have to have a vision for the future of an industry. We have to be in the right place at the right time. Pat yourself on the back. You're in the right place at the right time. But guess what? You have to take massive and immediate action. Are you willing to do that? For those of you who would like me to take you by the hand and show you how cryptocurrency works, teach you over an 8-week time period how to look at a cryptocurrency and tell, is this going up or is this not? How many of y'all like that skill? Okay? I have a program where you're going to learn how to turn cryptocurrency into cash and then cash into cryptocurrency. You're going to learn what Bitcoin is like on a high level. You're going to learn what the blockchain is, how the blockchain works, so you can have total confidence in it. So you don't need Myron to tell you what to do. The last thing you need is somebody else in your life telling you what to do. Here's what you need. You need to learn how to know what to do. Does that make sense? I'm going to teach you how to learn. I'm going to teach you what I know that's made me millions of dollars. I'm going to teach you what I know. You're going to get access to a private Facebook group that's very, very active. We're constantly updating people. Like right now, for instance, the major crypto, does anybody know the name of the number one cryptocurrency exchange in the world? Anybody know the name of it? Okay, it's called Binance. You can Google this. This is like right now. Like there's Binance, the second one's Bittrex. Bittrex is closed down for new registration. You can't even get a Bittrex account. Binance closed down for weeks because why these big cryptocurrency exchanges closed down? Because they're getting so many registrants that they can't handle the volume. So Binance opened up for new registrations last Sunday for 2 hours. This is on a Sunday. This is for 2 hours. And I heard an interview by the guy who's the CEO of Binance. He said, we opened up for 2 hours. How many people do you think registered in 2 hours? What do you think? 1,000? 5,000? 230,000 people registered in 2 hours, and they had to shut it down again. If 230,000 people in 2 hours, that's about 115,000 people an hour, are registering for a cryptocurrency account, why do you think they're doing that? Why? So they can buy cryptocurrency. Well, if you buy it before they buy it, when they buy it, because of the demand, makes the price go up, the coin that you bought for 6 cents might be 60 cents in 5 weeks or 5 months. Who cares? If it grows by 10, right? What are you investing in right now that has the potential, even the possibility of growing by 10? Does this make sense? So I'm going to teach you how to evaluate that. Remember I told you about the coin that grew over 6 million% last year? Remember that? Everybody remember that? Okay, I'm going to tell you what that coin is. If you take part in my masterclass is $1,997. You can participate in it right now. All you got to do is go to digitalmoneyflow.com/yes. digitalmoneyflow.com/yes. It's $1,997. If you pay with cryptocurrency, you get a $300 discount. It's $1,697, right? If you pay with cryptocurrency, either Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, if you are one of the first 10 people who take advantage of this offer, here's what I'm going to do. In fact, we got people. How many people we got watching online right now, Trevor? Can you tell? 2,642. Okay, I can't. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. 2,600. Yeah, I knew that's what you meant. I'm just like, okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Whether you're in this room or you're online, here's what I'm going to do. It's right now, 10:41. As long as you do this by noon today, if you're for one of the first 100 people, instead of me just telling you what that coin is, if you do it by noon today, and I believe with every fiber of my being, this coin will be worth a minimum in 12 months, $5.70 based on my calculations. And it might not be, but I believe it will be. That's why I have over 1 million of them, right? If you're one of the first 100 people that take advantage of this offer, I am going to give you 5,000 of those coins. If it grows to $5, it'll literally pay for your course. Go to digitalmoneyflow.com/yes. Here's what else I'm going to do. If you're one of the first 20 people, 20 is a good number. Y'all like 20? Let me see how many people. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it 25 people. You're one of the first 25 to take advantage of this offer right now before noon today. If you're one of the first 25, I'm going to throw in an extra 2,000 coins, and I'm going to give you a total of 7,000 coins for participating in my digital currency masterclass. I don't really need anybody else to take it. I don't want y'all to be left behind. But here's the deal. I'm not going to teach you for free what it costs me a lot of time and a lot of money to learn. So if you'd like to participate, please do. If you don't want to participate, that's okay. We can still be friends. Go open your Uphold account, start putting money in it, and at least benefit from Bitcoin, right? So I appreciate the opportunity to speak at the Black CEO Womenpreneurs Conference. You ladies already give your best. You deserve the best. Don't let this train pass you by. Thank you.
Thank you. Money, money,
Money, money, money.
That's what I'm talking about, money.
Indeed.
Oh my God, did you guys pick up what he dropped down? Because that was one of the things. He just kept dropping so much. I want to know what y'all picked up, right? What did y'all pick up? Anybody pick up anything that's going to stay with them? For those of you at line, you're home, you're watching, just drop underneath in the comments, what did you pick up? Does anybody want to share?
What's your big takeaway?
What's your big takeaway here? Anybody?
Kim has one.
I know I got my I had to bring my notes with me.
And we need
Here we go. We got Kim going to tell us.
All right, Kim, what was your big takeaway?
Well, I had a lot of takeaways, but I think I liked the quote from the Sam Walton book, if you want to grow big,
Think small.
think small.
Yeah.
And I also, like the number one expense is our lack of knowledge. And so, for me, get some knowledge.
Get some knowledge. Absolutely. Fantastic, Kim.
That
Good
is
stuff.
great. And one of the things Myron said is basically a mind thing. So even as we talk about how we move, especially with money, a lot of times it scares us. Our imagination makes us create some forced realities around money, and he just put some stuff down that took us to another level. So anybody else want to share their takeaway?
We got another over here. What was your big takeaway?
I love it.
I like that. My big takeaway was, Myron, I've come across you in the past. And so when I came, I was like, I think that's Myron. So it lends some credibility to what you're saying. And it's been in the back of my mind because, of course, I've heard about it. In financial and insurance. So
Gotcha.
I've been a little hesitant.
Right.
But I'm going to take it seriously now.
Fantastic. Good
All
stuff.
right,
Good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you, Myron.
Thank you.
Give Myron a round of applause
Thank you.
as he goes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We're going to be moving on. You want to make sure you put your big takeaways in about money, and don't forget, what are the small opportunities? Don't overlook them, because small opportunity turn into big things. What we got coming up next now?
All right. So we are getting ready to transition into hearing some of our awesome women speakers, because this is what? Hashtag
BlackWomen Takeover. That's right.
How are we going to take over without the women, right? So now we're going to bring some more women to the stage, and we're going to bring up some awesome women who are going to come up here. They're going to tell us the who, the what, and the why. So please join me in welcoming to the stage, first of all, the lovely Trisha Garrett.
Come on.
Then we've got April Harmon.
One at a time.
Oh, we'll come bring them one at a time.
Yeah.
My bad. I was gonna bring y'all up one at all, and then let you speak individually. So, Trisha, we need you to tell us the who, the what, and the why. Who are you? What do you do? And why it is important for BlackWomen Takeover to happen?
So I am Trisha Garrett, as she mentioned, and I remember all that. So who I am.
The what and the
The
why.
why.
Who are you?
Okay.
What do you do? And why BlackWomen Takeover is so epic for 2018?
And tell them about your workshop, because you got some big things coming up. So after you do the who, what, why, just remember like that. Tell us what you have going on next so we can catch you. All right? Okay. Cool beans.
So I'm Trisha Garrett, as they mentioned, and I'm a certified life coach. However, BlackWomen Takeover, I think this is so important, because when I think about my experience in the corporate world, when I think about just growing up in this country, the things that we have gone through as Black women, to know that we are coming together to take over, to have a single voice to be heard, I can't even tell you how excited I am. And the sisterhood that's being developed in the bonding, I love it. I love it. So I'm also going to be doing a workshop today, and it is going to be right after this, as a matter of fact. And basically, my workshop, what I'm going to be doing is not teaching you, but sharing with you how to get on the highway of your life, to live the life that you deserve, so that you can be empowered to live. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah.
Anticipation for Trisha. And Trisha, what room are you going to be in? Okay. We will announce that. And you don't have far to go anyway. All right. So we're going to let Trisha go down. And then we're going to bring to the stage none other than the awesome April Harmon. Let's give her a round of applause. Woo! All right, April, so you know the drill. You're going to tell us the who, the what, and the what again. Who you are, what you do, and what are you going to be talking about in your workshop today in helping women to have an epic 2018?
Hi, my name is April Harmon. I'm from Texas. I'm a realtor and certified financial social worker. What my topic today is going to be healing your relationship with money. I really come from the heart, because I know, as he mentioned, the speaker before me mentioned, a lot of our behavioral, our financial behaviors are influenced by our thought. But also, I'm going to get into the heart issues, right? Because that's the stuff that really, really affect our motivation and what we do every day. So I will be in the what's the name of that room? Sarasota room yes. So that'll be from 12 to 12:45. If you want to come by, I would love to have you. Thank you.
I'm getting my workout on, coming up and down those stairs. All right. So next we're going to bring to the stage Dr. Sabrina Watson. And Sabrina, you know the deal. Dr. Sabrina, Dr. Watson, the who, the what, and the what. Who are you? What do you do? And what will you be helping women to have an epic 2018 within your workshop today?
Thank you, Dr. Stephanie. My name is, again, it's Dr. Sabrina Watson, and I am from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I am here today. I'm so super excited. The thing I'm going to talk about today is the art of the comeback. I want to talk about unlimiting beliefs. I want to talk about when life gets you down, when it takes you back, when the road doesn't go quite the direction you want it to. I want to talk about how you have the power, how you have the belief, how you have the ability, the strength, the courage, the wherewithal, just because of who you are, to turn things around. And so I'm looking forward to sharing that with you all today. And I will share mostly part of it. There are a big couple parts, but the first part I'll talk about are some of my own personal experiences, why I know what I know. How am I even credible? Why would I want you to even listen to me? So I'll share some of the stories that I have. And one of the things that's dear to my heart is, as entrepreneurs, as women, is that we are charged with the future and the legacy of our children. And everything that we do and everything that you all will learn today, I want you to keep in mind that you're not doing it just because you're awesome, but you're doing it because there are other people looking at you. There are other people that are going to come after you, and they have a road and challenges and a purpose in their lives, and they're going to actually look to you to lead them. So it's all encompassing. And so I'm really looking forward to it. Don't know where I am, but you guys stay tuned. Follow us on Facebook. Share this out with your friends. You never know who needs to hear one of these women's story. You never know who's out there listening, because I was one of those people, one of those women once upon a time who was listening and hearing someone share their story, and it changed my life. So even those of you who are out there listening today, you can be a life changer. Share this out to someone who you know needs to hear this message. You don't know what's coming before you. So if you hear something in your that voice or something in your spirit saying, I think so-and-so needs to hear that, that's a voice from God. Listen to it and get that person online today. So looking forward to what we have. Thank you, Dr. Stephanie Barnes.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And just like she said, remember, your story is a testimony that can help someone else to learn their story and give voice to it. So let's bring to the stage next, Nakia Fields. Come on up. Woo, woo. That's right. Come on up with some. All right. Awesome, awesome. So, Nakia, we're going to get you to tell us the who, the what, and the what, who you are, what you do, and what you're going to empower women with this day on your workshop.
Sounds good. Thank you. Good afternoon or good morning. Where are we? I'm all over the place. I'm from California. I'm from LA. Like you said, my name's Nakia, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker. And my workshop is entitled Mental Health Entrepreneur. I wrote a book called Mental Health Entrepreneur, and that's why I feel like I have something to say about the topic. Like I mentioned, licensed clinical social worker. I also own a group practice out of Pasadena, and I own a staffing agency wherein I help other social workers and mental health professionals gain employment, whether it be subcontracting employment, full-time employment, part-time employment, and I'm out there just trying to make sure we have opportunities and options in this field. As social workers and life coaches and forensic social workers, we have a lot of speakers up here who understand where I'm coming from. And when I say mental health entrepreneur, it doesn't have to be a therapist. It's anybody who's working with behavioral issues or the community in which we have to find resources for our clients. And it's sometimes hard to do that. And I think in a way we have to empower ourselves financially to find the resources. And that's what my workshop is about. How do we empower ourselves to find our own contract, to get our own money and not be dependent on an agency or somebody telling us where we have to go, which clients we have to see. If we want control, we have to know which populations we want to work with and how we do it. And that's what I'm here for. And I'm still learning every single day. I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm so excited to be here and learn from you guys and talk to you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Nakia. All right. So our next speaker who's going to come to the stage is none other than Andrea Jack. Come on up here. Andrea, let's give her a round of applause. Come on. Let's get some energy up in here. All right, Andrea, so you're going to tell us the who, the what, and the what, who you are, what you do, and what you're going to talk about in your workshop today.
Thank you, Dr. Stephanie. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I am excited to be here. I am Andrea Jack from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I am not your typical accountant. Ladies, we are in business and we are doing the daggone thing. Would you agree with that? Absolutely. So today we're going to talk about systems and processes in our workshop. The statistics is that most businesses fail within the first 3 years. And the reason they fail is because they don't have systems and processes in place. I want to make sure that you get over that 3-year hump and be like me. Celebrated 12 years this month in business. That's a big thing, right? Never thought I would be here. So today in accounting, we're going to talk about what it means to know your numbers, what it means to be positioned for the things that you want to do in your business. My workshop is at 11 a.m. in the Pasco room. I look forward to meeting you and educating you this morning. Thank you.
Over 40 and 5.
It's on? Mic check? All right, that's y'all in here that I was 32, right? Cool. So anyway, you want to make sure that you are in the room that you're supposed to be. So we have a few rooms that's going on here. We got Andrea that's going to be in the big ideas room, and you heard her up here and what she's going to bring. So you want to make sure you're in the right place if you got a big idea. You have Trisha that's going to be in Change Your Life. You know, things don't change until you change. So if you're looking to change your life, you want to make sure you're in that room. We have Nakia that's going to be in We Run the World. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Come on, who run the world? Girls run the world. All right, here we go. And then we have Maxine that's going to be Women on Fire. But up next that's going to be in the big takeover room here, we got Miss Bobette Brown coming to the stage. Give her a hand. That's going to come here. Are you ready, Miss Brown? So you're going to tell us who you are, why you're here, and what you're doing, what you're going to talk about.
All right, all right. Anybody ready to take over? Yes. Anybody out here that's ready to take over?
Yes. I'm gonna come check you out. I'm gonna check you out. I'm not going on. Going to the mic. Just going to the mic. And I gotta put my glasses on to see. There we go.
All right. Y'all hear me good now? All right. Got a thumbs up. All right, so my name is Bobette Brown. Bobette Brown. What would I say about me? I'm from everywhere. That's what I tell people. Why? Because I'm an Army brat and a former 82nd Airborne paratrooper. Yes, I jumped out of perfectly good planes. So you can get that out of your mind right now. Did she really jump out of plane? Yes, I did. And today when we talk about takeover, we just heard the speaker say, you want to make sure if you're ready to do something that you've never done, you've got to be willing to work with somebody who is risk averse. Somebody say risk averse. Well, I should say who isn't risk averse. That's me. I'm not risk averse. In other words, if I'm a person who jumps out of planes, you know, I believe that you and I have been created to boldly go where no man has gone before. Because the reality is that you are unique, you are different, you were created differently than I am, and whatever brilliance, whatever sparkle, whatever shine you have, only you can bring that to the table. I can't bring you to my table. So today we're going to talk about the takeover. Some of y'all put it in the comment box, Take over. That's right, take over. We're so glad to be here with the Black Womanpreneur. We believe this is an epic 2018 situation, and it's time for us to live out what we have been created to do, what we have been called to do, what we have been designed to do. And you are following me on social media. Let me just introduce myself before I get into it, because like I said, I get so excited when I have an opportunity to inspire, impact, and empower women to live the life that they were created to live. And so I'll give you a little bit of background. Short of that, Bobette Brown. I'm a transformation architect. I'm an author, certified coach, speaker, and team member on the John Maxwell team as well. I love teaching. I love speaking. I love people. I love doing what I do because I've been created to have the gift of gab. That's the creation. So anybody growing up, when you were growing up, any of you speakers out here, I know y'all heard this before. You talk too much. And then the same folks was waiting for a word on where they could get to the next level. And they came to you expecting you to give them a word, right? They were looking to you to encourage them. And you was on shutdown mode. Why? Because they just told you you talk too much. So which one you want me to do? You want me to talk or you want me to shut down? You want me to encourage you or you want me to step back? But you know what? I'm come here today to let you know you are supposed to be exactly the way you are. Now, I'm not saying it's not room for improvement. We always can improve. We always can do better. We always can boldly go to another level, and we should be willing to go to another level. But the reality is, yes.
Hey, babe, because you get ready to get started here, and you've given up so much away. So we want you to hold on for 1 minute.
Hold on for 1 minute.
Hold that thought for 1 minute, and we're going to get you started so you can really go in. See,
okay.
I figured, let me just stop you before you go all the way in.
I appreciate that.
So let us bring it down for 1 second.
Awesome.
And we're going to get you back up.
Okay.
Bring it, all right? There we go.
Thank you.
All right, so you guys want to know what room that you're in. So whatever room that you're going to, there to the right and to the left of you, outside here online, you know what room you'll go in to find your video, which speaker that you actually just want to listen to, but you may want to try to jump in and out so you can hear all of these speakers, some of the great things that you have to do, right?
Yes, that's right, because we've got, you've heard them, they've given you a little tease, and now in a few minutes we're going to let you hear the whole thing. So make sure that for those of you who are in the room, you go to the individual rooms where the speakers are that have the workshop you want to hear. And again, it's okay to pop in and pop out. Okay, because actually we're going to give you an opportunity. We'll talk more about that later. Because you can't be, now we're every woman, but we can't be in every room at every time. So you will have the opportunity to have access to the replays, and we're going to give you some information about that later. So don't you worry. Go to the one that you want to hear first, and you will have an opportunity to connect with them later. So for those of you who are online, make sure that you're following the workshop that you want to hear. And remember, this is all about Black Woman Takeover, hashtag Epic 2018. So we are getting ready to get everybody started. So get to the room that you're interested in. And remember, even though you're every woman and can't be everywhere at the same time, you will have an opportunity to hear all of these awesome women. Because I know for me, I'm conflicted on where I want to go because there's so many great messages. Yes.
I just want the replay, so I can't wait to hear about how we're going to get all the replays. Sometimes I figure it's like 6 rooms. I'm going to get in and out in all of them in this time, but we definitely going to get the replays so we can see. If it's any indication what Bobette started.
She was that's what it's about.
You know, she was going inside the rope, and I was like, let me catch her before she jump all the way in and bring this. But are you ready to bring it, Bobette? All right, then come on back here. This is your stage, and get ready to bring what you got. Come on back to the stage. Here we go. Come on, this time. Come on.
All right.
This time we want you to go all the way in.
All right. Thank you so much. Come on, isn't it good? Sisterhood is a good thing, right? I said sisterhood is a good thing. That's what we need. Sisters who just love on you. Know how to do it so that you're not even feeling bad or nothing, right? But I think it's good. I'm glad y'all are in the room, and I'm glad you are watching us. Listen, I'm going to be talking about, matter of fact, I want to shift it. I want you to make it personal, and I want you to put this in your comment box. Say, I am taking over. No, I'm not asking permission to take over. Just go ahead and put that. I am taking over. Those of you who are in the room, go ahead and put in the comment box now. I am taking over. I am taking over. Let me see if we can get the mic situation worked out. Yeah, I just want to put, okay. I turned it off, but look, put this on my collar there, because I was going to take it off.
I don't know. But it's okay.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to take this one. We're going to take this one.
He wants to, okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, I think it was just that. Yeah, I was trying to figure out like what it might be. But now your hair is. I think it's just the back. Here we go. There we go. You just took my bit to figure out how to get to the back. Okay.
What mic is she on? I need the mic. What mic is she on? I'm gonna bring her back up. What mic is she on?
The handheld.
What mic number? What mic number is she on?
Mic number
Yeah, is that 3?
that she has, I'm not sure. So this one's on? We're gonna bring her back. We just had I'm gonna bring her back up right. You just hold on. Okay. All right. You know, sometimes you gotta start and you start back. And it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. So we're gonna go with the third time is gonna be a charm. And we're going to bring back to the stage none other than Lady Bobette, and she is about to bring the fire. Lady Bobette, are you ready?
Yes. Awesome.
All right, microphone check, 1, 2, 1,
1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, take the stage.
Listen, and this is what it's all about too. We're talking about it's time for me to take over, but let me tell you something. A lot of times people stop because they run into technical difficulty. See, they stop because it's not perfect. Nobody asked you to be perfect. We already don't expect you to be perfect because we know we're not perfect. But sometimes you have a little static in the line. Sometimes your mic don't work right. Maybe there's people who aren't in your sphere of influence like you want them to. But I tell you something, you have to still get started. Don't let the small stuff keep you from being great. I want you to put down in the comment box and put down on your papers, those of you who are in this room, it's time for me to be great. Yeah, I'm giving you permission to go ahead and be great. Don't take no hostages. Don't wait for everybody to get on your team. It's time for you to say, you know what? I have wasted enough time watching everybody else do the doggone thing. It's time for me to do the doggone thing. Anybody in here agree with that? Do you agree with that on the line? It's important for you and I to realize that it's our time. It's our season. This is the dimension that we are in, and we have been strategically placed right here for such a time as this. And the reality is, as I said before, yes, to give you a little bit of background, Bobette Brown, transformation architect, author, speaker, coach, trainer. I love what I do, and I do what I love. And if that's what you're saying, I'm ready to love what I do, and I'm ready to do what I love. The only person that can do that is you. You've got to make a decision to go ahead and be great. You have to make a decision to say, I'm going to take over. I'm not just going to talk about taking over, but I'm going to go ahead and do what I said I'm going to do. Now, the previous speaker before me, he said it's not too late. And I want you to put that in your mindset. I want you to write that down on your papers. Those of you who are in this room, I want you to put it down. It's not too late. It's not too late. Do you agree with me online? If you agree with me online, I want you to put that in the comment box. I want you to put it out there so that you can tell yourself and everyone who told you that it is too late. You can let them know, oh, no. It's not too late. It's not too late. How do I know it's not too late? Because you're still inhaling and exhaling. That's how I know it's not too late. How do I know it's not too late? You still breathing. How do I know it's not too late? How did you figure out how to get on Facebook and watch this live record? It can't be too late. You still got your right mind. You still are able to think. You're still able to articulate. You're still able to be who and what you know you want to be and to do. So it's not too late. And that jumped out to me and the previous speaker. So I want you to understand today that it's time for you to take over. It's time for you to take over. In 2018, it's time for you to take over. No more excuses. As a matter of fact, I'm going to challenge you to stop watching everybody else be great and you make a decision. That's why I'm having you write these things down. Notice I didn't say type them down unless you're online and you're putting in the comment box, and that's fine too. But it's something about when we write stuff. It's something about when we write it that somehow it becomes crystallized in our minds. And not only just writing it, but you need to speak it out. Because when you speak it out, you have a creative force in your mouth. When you begin to say, I'm going to be great, I don't care what comes against you. You say, oh, no, I'm going to be great. No, as a matter of fact, I'm not even going to be great. How about this? I am great. I am great. It is my time. It is my season. No, I'm going to stop waiting around for things to be perfect. And if I stumble, if there's a little technology issue and they have to and I have to leave the forefront and go off stage for a little bit and come back, when you come back, make sure you come back correct. Now, don't come back like all timid and everything. No, you come back and say, oh yeah, that was good because it gave me a chance to get my thoughts together. You come back with an extra sense of power. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to take the topic of this hashtag, even Epic 2018. How about putting that in the comment box and share this out with your followers? Because if you are going to take over, nobody gets to the top and wants to look back and see everybody else still at the bottom. If you want to take over, and that's what the beautiful thing is about this Womanpreneur 18, how we're taking over today. The beautiful thing about it is it's not just about you, but it's about those that you can impact. It's about those that you can begin to change. It's about those that you can empower. And you always know when you're talking good when some interference happens. Anybody ever been going about your purpose, going about what you know that you've been called to do and to be, and then comes in, you don't stop. A little interference comes in, you just keep it moving. You're like, oh, that was supposed to stop me. You just step right on over top of it and keep it moving. You don't allow interference to keep you. You don't allow setbacks to prevent you from taking over. As a matter of fact, one of the things I really want you to grasp today, one of the things I really want you to understand today, and I'm going to make sure my other mic is off. Okay, so we're good. We're good. Y'all good online? All right, you can hear me clear? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a 1, whatever you want to do. We want to make sure that this message is not impeded, because listen, this is your time, and there's going to always be some interference to keep you distracted. And sometimes the distraction comes when we're so busy watching everybody else that we don't have time to do our own thing. Sometimes the distraction comes when we know that we have these dreams, these visions, these ideas. I have a question for you today, because if we're going to take over, I'm going to give you some principles in just a few moments. But I want you to write this down. I want to ask you a question. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? If failure was not an option, don't tell me about money. I didn't ask you about that. I said, if I put a blank check right now on your table, and I said, girl, you better go ahead and be great. You need to have an idea. What would you do if failure was not an option? See, and I often have people asking this question: what did you say you wanted to do? What did you say you wanted to be when you were a little girl? You know, before people started talking you out of what you wanted to do. It's still in your heart. What is it that you want to do that you said, this is what when I grow up, I said this, y'all. I said, when I grow up, I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I said, when I grow up, I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to help positively inspire and impact people. I'm going to help people unleash their voice. I'm going to help people be great. Oh, I'm going to do the doggone. And then you know what people told me? You talk too much. And I said, dang, I was going to use my voice. But there's a problem because I'm talking too much. So then I had to decide to put that on the back burner. And some of you that are watching me online, and some of you that are in this room today, you have said people have begun to squelch and squash and try to annihilate and decimate my dreams. But let me tell you something. Nobody can kill your dream if it's your dream. The only reason why you have not succeeded to taking over, you know, it's real talk up in here. That's one thing about me. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to keep it 100. If you're not taking over, the only person you can blame, you ready for it, is you. If you're not doing stuff, don't tell me now that if you had the resources, you would do it. No. You know what I discovered? This is what I discovered. Life is like walking in front of that automatic door. Anybody ever tried to walk to Target or Target, Walmart, or maybe you went to Nordstrom? I don't know where you've been, but wherever it is that you've been, you walk to the door, right? Now, the door only opened when you stood in front of it. Oh, y'all, yeah, did you catch that? Y'all in the room. See, some of us, we way back here talking about, but I don't have no resources. If I just had the money. Well, you ain't stood in front of the door yet. You haven't even, what steps have you made? Oh, you're ready to take over, but you haven't taken any steps. You haven't moved closer to your destination. And that's one thing I love about us when we get together as women. Oh, we gonna love on each other, but y'all, we got to keep it 100, because we don't want to get to the top of the mountain and turn around and look, and our sister girls are still at the bottom because we didn't encourage them. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Hey, grab my hand. I'm gonna help you. Grab my hand. See, I can remember when I was in the United States Army. I was stationed in Bad Kreuznach, Germany, one of the places I had gone. So I see some people shaking their head. They're familiar with Bad Kreuznach, Germany, United States Army. That's right. Stationed in Bad Kreuznach, Germany. And when I was in Germany, we ran, but, I thought I was in shape. But then I got reassigned to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And there they had sent me to school to be an 82nd Airborne paratrooper, and I went overseas. They said, no, we want a return on our investment. Get your hind parts here, back here to United States of America, and jump out some planes. So I had to go back to North Carolina. Well, while I was on Fort Bragg, those hills weren't quite like the hills in Bad Kreuznach, Germany. So here we go, airborne. I don't know, but I've been told 82nd Airborne, good as gold. Sound off, 1, 2, sound. Shit, these people crazy. I had reached about that 2 mile. Yes, it was about 2 miles. I'd reached about the 2 mile mark, y'all, and I was tired as all get out. And I was sweating. I was ready to give up. There was some interference. And I'm like, and I'll never forget, there was another soldier who saw me ready to quit. Oh, he saw me. I was drenched in sweat. I hadn't built up the stamina that he had built up. Oh, but he came behind me. He said, this is what I want you to do. You just lean back and relax. He said, and I'm going to push you up the hill. And so I no longer was exerting energy. He was exerting the energy, and he was pushing me up the hill. Why? Because he said, we ain't going to leave nobody behind. Well, I got a question for you girls that are on here today, and those of you that are on the line. I want to know from you, are you just trying to get to the top by yourself? Or are you willing to reach back and grab somebody else to make sure that you don't get to the top? Because when you get to, it's lonely at the top, baby girl. You don't want to leave your sisters behind, because you know what? 2 are always better than 1. Oh, yes, honey. Don't forget, there is power when we are unified. There is power, because you know what I discovered? My weakness is your strength. And your strength may be my weakness. And if I start dissing on you and trying to convince you that you are not who God called you to be and created you to be, then before I know it, you're not being great. Look, I got the spotlight all on me, but I can't be great without you. And that's one of the problems we have. Ladies, we got to make sure, that's the beautiful thing about how we're setting up in this room and all in the other rooms. There are people watching us on the line. There are people in the room, in this room. And then there's people in the other rooms as well. We're all supporting each other, because I got to shine, but you got to shine. And you got to shine, and you got to shine, and you got to shine, and you got to shine. We all got to shine. But if I don't know that I got to shine because I ran into some difficulty along the way, if I don't realize that we all run into some technical difficulty from time to time, and there's some static on the line, if I don't realize that sometimes I might have to get off a center stage and move over to the side, it don't mean I ain't coming back. And when I come back, you always gonna have some. Did you see my sister, how she said, she came up to me, y'all may not have heard her say this, but Dr. Stephanie said, oh, no. I'm going back on the stage, and I'm gonna make sure I introduce you the right way. She said, oh, no, I'm gonna bring you back in. Listen, if you're hanging around some sisters that don't want to bring you back in right, that's the first sign that that's the wrong sister to bring you back in. No. If you can't celebrate the fact of my journey, then you got to be careful with that, because eventually you gonna go through a tough season too. And you gonna need somebody to push you. Oh, I know right now you look like you got it all together. Oh, but just a few days, I guarantee you gonna get tired. And you gonna wish you had somebody else to help push you up, just like my comrade did for me. But this is our time to take over. Oh, no, we're not asking for permission. We are going to take over because I have something to let you know. And I want you to hear me and hear me well. In this room, hear me and hear me well. Every single thing that you have gone through has been in preparation for where you're going to go. Oh, yeah, right, yeah, Hashtag that, tweet that. Make sure you tag me at Lady Bobette. Yeah, that's my hashtags. I don't know, take a picture of me on screen. Go ahead, Instagram me too, at Lady Bobette. Yes, every single thing you have gone through has been in preparation for where you're going to go. Who you supposed, I like to call it like basic training. You know, I went to boot camp, y'all. 8 weeks. Won't ever forget it. Changed my life. When I went to boot camp, what it was about was changing my mind from who I thought I was. Somebody already caught it. To who I really was. See, I didn't know how strong I really was. So when I went through some boot camp, went through some issues, I went through some trials. God knows they was telling me to drop all the drop, give me 10. How strong do you think I am? They said one thing, and this is what I believe they're saying. You may be strong now, but by the time you get finished, you're going to be a whole lot stronger. Drop and give me 10. And before I knew it, I was able to do more push-ups than I had previously been able to do. But I look at our lives like that. Your life, my life, has been in preparation for where we're going to go. So you can't tell me that you don't have it in you. Yes, you do. If you came from a broken home, there's a reason why you went through that in that situation. There were some skills you got that I didn't get. See, you think that that is a liability, and I see it as an asset. You say, no, but you don't understand. You don't understand. I got divorced. Oh, but baby, there's some experiences you gained from that divorce that I didn't get. I've been married for almost 30 years. I don't know what it's like to be divorced, but you do. Not only about the divorce, but the experiences that you get, the wisdom. And that's what I want to challenge you to do today. When you look back at your life and the experiences that you've been through, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Make a promise to yourself that you won't focus on the negative, but what you're going to do is pull out the positive from that experience. Because if you're not careful, just like my boot camp, you'll be so busy, mad about what you had to go through that you'll miss all the good nuggets because you did go through. Because you are wiser now because you've experienced something that others have not experienced. You're wiser now. Listen, do you realize that you are a survivor? Why is it that some people, y'all, I know this. I know you're on the line. You ain't got to tell me. I know y'all in the room. I know it's true. There's some of y'all, you look back at people who were in your circle. They looking old, toe down. You're like, girl, what in the world? They have allowed life to beat them up. And you done missed the whole lesson. You're like, oh, let me take another look at myself in this mirror. Girl, you better stop it. You look good. You don't look like what you've been through. You're looking at people who have died with what you've gone through, and you're looking at them like, you couldn't have gone through that. You're looking at people who are frustrated, and they've stopped, and they've become stuck. And you're like, why did you stop? But then you look at yourself, and you say, but I'm inadequate. No. I want you to celebrate who you are. And that's the first Oh, I got some. Have you ever, the one thing, I have 2 sons. I have 2 boys. Joshua, they're going to always be the boys. Don't tell me when I tell you the age, they're not boys. They the boys. Anybody got boys? Hey, any of y'all online there's plenty of us in this room that have some boys. Yes, they're boys. They're going to be the boys when they 30. They're going to be the boys when they 50. However old I'm when they 50, I'm going to say, there go the boys. But the boys are 27 and 25. Yeah, they grown. I know they grown. You had to tell me that. I know they grown. But they the boys. And my boys have taught me some good lessons. The boys have helped me to become who I'm supposed to be. The boys have helped me to live out my purpose as a mother. The boys have helped me to live out my purpose. Y'all, if we make it through the teenage years, no, it ain't even the teenage years now. They 20. Lord, if you help me just make it through the 20s. But, I got some witnesses in the room. Oh, some of y'all, see, I needed to say that. I didn't even know why I was saying that. Because there's some of y'all on the line that you're not living your life because you too tied up in them kids. You done raised them in the way that they should go. Now, if they don't want to go that way, let them bump their head, please. Let them. They bump their head enough times. I promise you, just like me and you, they're going to come to their senses. They're going to get it together. Stop running in and trying to rescue them. Let them bump their head. And then, our kids, when they were younger, our boys were younger, I remember they would fall. And when they would fall, you know how they trying to learn how to walk and they would fall? When they would fall, oh, yeah. Don't send me no letters. Don't send me no emails when I tell you this. This is my story, okay? You got me online, y'all in the room. But when they would fall, you know what we would do? We'd go, we start laughing, and you know what? They do like, oh, I was supposed to cry. Then they go, you know what? Because I trained them. Just because you fall, don't have to cry. Because you wasn't hurt. It was just a normal reaction. But they saw us laughing. They said, oh, you're like, why did she tell that story? Because some of you online, you have fallen. You're not taking the wisdom from that experience. There are some people who are crying. Oh, but there's some people who say, yeah, I went through that. Oh, don't play. You about to see me do something I've never seen before. You're about to see me go someplace I've never gone before. You're about to see me say something. Oh, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm about to write a book. But I'm not prepared to write a book. Yes, you are. Because your entire life has been in preparation for where you're going to go. Your entire life has prepared you for the book that you're supposed to write. But I don't know how to write. What I tell you, when you stand in front of the door will open. You haven't even written one chapter. But I don't know what to write. Go to your journal. You wrote a whole bunch of stuff in that journal. I guarantee you, if you just take your journal, you got a couple of chapters in that bad boy already. And then you tell us a few stories, and before you know it, you have a book. Who said that your book got to be 800 pages? So, look, stop it. It's time for you to be great. It's time for you to take over. And the first lesson I want you to learn, here it is. If you're ready to take over, you're going to have to take ownership. Because I was telling you, when my boys grew up, I had boys, and I know hanging out with the young people, they say, oop, like, oop. So this is how you're going to remember, O-O-P, oop. Look, they're going to be like, oop, no, she not like that. Mm-hmm. Oop, no, she didn't show up great. Oop. What did she? Oh, no, she didn't just change us. Lord. Oh, did you see Rebecca? Oh, did you see Stephanie? I don't know what happened. Oh, so that's going to be the way you're going to remember. You want them to see you and be like, oh, is that Bobette? Lord, that girl is off the chain. I don't know what happened. This is what's going to happen. Your first you're going to take ownership. Write it down in the comment box, in the room. Write it down. If I'm going to take over, I got to take ownership. You got to own your truth. It's your experience. Own it. I can't help the fact that I grew up as an Army brat. Every 3 years we moved. Every 3 years. So I never grew up as a person developing relationships. I'm a person, I was sitting with my sister girl here, Nicole, talking yesterday, and I said, I know this ain't everybody's story, but I said, for me, this is how I live. I have learned how to have some parameters with what I'm about to tell you, but this is how I live because my journey has taught me this. I don't wait and get all warm and fuzzy. Like, I jump all in, and then you teach me not to trust you. See, I don't walk into a room going, I can't trust her, I can't trust her, I can't trust him, I can't trust them, and I can't. I had 3 years to get to know you. 3 years, and it started ticking. So by nature, by my experience, by my journey, I was taught, you don't, and you know what? I think, I had no problem telling you I'm a Christian girl. But the Bible even bears me out. He said, teach me to number my days. Some of y'all acting like you're going to be here forever. Well, I must do that next year. Who said you're going to be here next year? And then we miss an opportunity for your greatness. We miss an opportunity to experience your brilliance. We miss an opportunity to see what you went through. We missed an opportunity because you didn't take ownership. Own it. Whatever it is, own it. If you grew up in a dysfunctional family, own it. If you grew up, listen, and you were among the elite, and you grew up in a neighborhood, and you were the only black family, and everybody else was another race, or they were white, own it. There's a reason why you grew up that way. If you realize, you look at your family, and you begin, you know what, I don't know why my kids have gone wayward. You own your story. Because you know what I discovered? People love to hear stories about people who have made it, who had obstacles against them. They were down the hill, and then somebody reached back and pushed them and pulled them up. Those are kind of stories that we pay attention to. We don't want to know only the people that made it to the top. No, we want to know first you was poor, you ain't had no money, you was living on the train tracks. As a matter of fact, the train was getting ready to come. Then you jumped off. We're like, what? You kidding? And then you're like, but now I'm a billionaire. We're like, what? You a billionaire? You came from the train track. We all love stories like that. And you're thinking, well, my story is not like that. Yes, it is. Because this is what I believe and what I've experienced. One man's trash, the stinky things in your life, is another man's treasure. Yeah, my first child was a miscarriage. I had a miscarriage. And I never really understood about that until people started. Am I the only one, those of you in the room, that there are people who come to you and they got the issues that you had? You're like, now, do I have on my head, had a miscarriage? You're like, what made them, how do they know? Because I told you, your entire life has been preparation for where you're going to go. So if you haven't ever had that, people don't even, if you've never gone, you don't even have to raise your hand. You don't even say anything in the comment box. But I know if you've never experienced it, nobody asked you about it. Nobody asked you, but it's interesting. And then it was years later, just 2 years ago. I started sharing my story beforehand, but 2 years ago, my niece had a miscarriage. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was time for me to go ahead and let her know. Because, I told you I got 2 boys. So I let her know. I said, did you know that I had a miscarriage? She said, no. I bet I didn't know. And I said, yes, I had a miscarriage. And now you see Joshua and Caleb. And I said, you know why I'm telling you that? Because I want you to know, don't you give up, girl. You will have a baby. And last year, she gave birth to her son. That's all about pulling each other up. I couldn't let her go through that season by herself. But first, before I could help her, I had to take ownership of my story. So that was the first O. You got to take ownership. You got that? Did you write that down in the comment box? You got to take ownership. That's the O, the first O. You want them to say, oh, yeah, here's the next O. You ready? Y'all ready in the room? So the first O we told you is ownership. Here's the next one. Opportunity. When you're given an opportunity, take it. As a matter of fact, how about you're not given an opportunity, but you see that there's an opportunity? Now, it's interesting. No one else sees the opportunity but you. You're like, you walk into the room, you're like, you know what? If that table had a yellow, oh, that would set that thing off. If they had a yellow tablecloth on top of that, oh, yeah. Matter of fact, if they put some flowers, they don't even have to do the flowers. They could get some rock. You're going through all this in your mind. You're the only one thinking this way. We just walking in. That tells you something about you. That just gave you some clues. That was an opportunity. Now you get to decide what you're going to do with that. Do you keep your thoughts to yourself? Or do you begin to share that so that you can again take advantage of the opportunity to impact other lives? You don't think anything. You love reading and editing papers. You love it. You don't even know. You just start looking, people write stuff, and before you know it, you notice that you're editing their work. I promise you, the rest of us are not paying attention to all of those errors. You are paying attention to those errors. We're not. Could it be that you're supposed to go into business being an editor? Do you know that people will pay you to read their papers? And they will pay you very good. And you're just thinking, this is normal. My first business. Now I'm an author, a speaker, a coach. Love what I do. Love it. But I also have a business on the side that's a part of BGB Enterprises where I'm a sign language interpreter. I'm a sign language consultant. You say, what? Yeah, I can sign. Oh, I can sign. But guess how I learned how to sign? I got a deaf brother. But here it is. We don't know why he's deaf. But I'll tell you something that's even better than that. How is it that I have 4 siblings, 2 older sisters and 2 younger brothers? I'm the middle child and the baby girl. My brother is 2 years younger. Guess who's the one who picked up sign language? We all learned sign language, but guess who was the one who was very skilled in interpreting? Me. Stay with me. Years later, I get married. I moved to DC. I joined a church. We 2 blocks away from the top university for deaf and hard of hearing. Then I go to the church and I sit down. There's a young woman sitting beside me. And guess what? She's deaf. Her mama is bringing her to church, but she can't hear the word because she sees the word and she doesn't hear the word. So what did I do? I started a deaf ministry. What am I saying? Could it be that my brother had to be deaf? Oh, y'all don't like this. Because you're looking back at your experiences and you're like, I didn't want to go. No, could it be that my brother had to be deaf so I could make an impact in the Washington, D.C. area so that I could help deaf people hear the word so that their souls can be saved, so they can experience Jesus? Because who would have thought that I'd end up right around the corner from the top university? Who would have thought that I would sit down in a seat and see the mama with the daughter who the mother didn't even sign that well? They needed me to sign. And I went to my pastor and said, somebody needs to start a deaf ministry. I did say that. You need to take this opportunity and start it. And that's what I did. It's over 20-something years and we still have it. So you got to take ownership. You write that down. You got to take ownership. You got to take advantage of the opportunity. And here's my last one before I get out of here. Here it is. Stop expecting to receive permission. I'm giving you permission right now. You don't need permission. You don't need permission to take over. Your entire life, the fact that you're still here is the reason why you can say, it's time for me. No, I got permission. I got permission to go ahead and do the doggone thing. I have permission to go ahead and write the book. I have permission to go ahead and be the great speaker. I have permission to start my business. I have a permission to be a mental health physician or mental health practitioner. I have permission. So you have to own it. You have to own it. Not only must you own it, you've got to make sure that you take advantage of opportunities, even if that means you're going to make some opportunities. And trust me, you don't even have to make opportunities, because it just so happens your feet will always go in the direction of your purpose and destiny. So you're going to take advantage of the opportunity. And then you know what? You're going to give yourself permission to do it. You're not going to ask nobody. Some of the biggest things I've ever done in my life, I didn't tell anybody it until I did it. Because I didn't need you asking me how am I going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just believe I'm going to do it. And since you're going to ask me how I'm going to do it and I'm clueless, I'm not going to talk to you about that, because I need to be around another dreamer. I need to be around somebody else that's going to grab my hand when it looks like I'm about to lose it. They're going to grab my hand and say, girl, stop playing. You can come on up this hill. So you got to hang around people who are dreamers, people who are believing like you, people who aren't talking about, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. I told you, I'm not risk adverse at all. You know that I'm not risk adverse. If I'm going to jump out of a plane, $30,000 something miles up in the air. And listen, when you're in the military, they teach you how to land on the balls of your feet. It's no such thing as you slowing down. No, you land. That's why I'm officially bionic now. Yeah, I'm officially bionic. I have a titanium left knee. I am bionic. I said, excuse me, TSA, I need to go through that. They say, you got metal on your body? Yes, send me over there, please. So I want to challenge you today. As I summarize it, listen, it's time for you to take over. And if you're going to take over, those of you that are in this room and those of you who are watching me online, if you're going to take over, you got to make, first and foremost, you got to take ownership. Anybody remember the second O? Not only must you take ownership, what else do you need to do? You got to make sure that you take those opportunities. And trust me, there will be opportunities. And here's the last P. Anybody remember the P? You got to go ahead and know you already have permission, because what you want to do is you want to take over in such a way that when people see you, they're like, ooh, ooh. You say, yeah, it's my time to take over. Thank you so much for sharing with me today. I hope you got something out of this. Listen, don't forget to follow me, ladybobette.com. All on social media, you can find me at Lady Bobette. Thank you so much. God bless you. Come on, here's my sisters.
Fabulous. She gave us the OOP. The OOP.
All right. So are y'all fired up? All right. Now, she literally jumped out of airplanes. All right. She literally soared 30,000 feet in the air. Imagine what we can do if we use that power, that courage, that inspiration to soar in our own businesses. So, I always like to know, what are your takeaways? What are some of the things that you picked up on? Because I tell you, she dropped a lot of nuggets. And if you weren't enthused by her enthusiasm, then You know, you as cold as that air is outside. So I want to know, what are some of the, just shout it out to me. What were some of the words or just things that you thought about as she was inspiring you to jump out of airplanes, to literally soar in your life, in your business, and in your career? So tell me, what are some of the things that inspired you? Give yourself permission. If y'all didn't hear nothing else, give yourself permission. Yes. What about you? Take advantage of opportunities, because guess what? Even if opportunity knocks at your door, what do you have to do? You got to open the door, because if you don't open the door, opportunity going to go on to somebody else, and they're going to stand there and wait on you. What about you? What's your big takeaway? That's right. Change your mind from who you think you are to who you really are. Anything over here? Now, y'all know I'm a teacher by trade, and you know, I always like to make eye contact, and I always like to just pull out and draw folks. Now, I know you've been quiet today, but you are here. This is BlackWomen Takeover. Take yourself off mute. So I'm gonna take you off mute. You knew it, because I've been waiting on you, because I've been watching you all morning. That's right. You're a quiet storm. What? All right. Right.
And also, you know, drawing people into you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna give. I like to, but when you have all these people coming in as unity, a lot of us black women, you know, everybody want to get to the, you know, tear you down, but coming into this room,
Yes.
you know, it may be small, big, it doesn't matter.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you did, and that's what we want. Take yourself off mute. Right. Yes. Well, you know, this is something that's really great about when you come to things like this, because this is your forum to absorb, but also to emit. Because that's kind of the opposite, not really the opposite, but you know, that's the other action. When you absorb something, it is an opportunity to emit, and emit light, emit knowledge, emit inspiration, and emit power onto others. And that's what Black Womanpreneur 2018 is about. That's how you're going to have your epic 2018. Is what you get in, you give out. What you sow, you reap. And you know, the thing that is so empowering about when women come together, and especially when Black women take over, when we come together, is that we are more powerful together than we are as individuals. Right. And when I build with you, and I build with you, and I build with you, then I truly, truly build something great. So for those of you who are out there online, I want to know what your takeaways are. So make sure you go in the comment box and write down, you know, what is the thing that you took away from Lady Babette this morning? And, you know, how are you going to use that to make your epic 2018? Because it's not just about identifying and saying, here's my word, here's my thought, here's what I took away from it, but what you gonna do? What are you going to do with it? Yeah, what you gonna do?
And you have to really, as we listen to all of this, when you talk about your takeaways, because he said more than the mouth, you know, and talking about taking ownership. Your truth. That's probably the biggest takeaway that you can take care of. You know, good.
All right, so microphone check 1 2 1 2.
There's always another way as you do this, right? And you move along. You just, like she said, you don't let nothing stop you, especially when you're live. And one of the things about life is alive. And you got to keep moving in it. You can't let nothing stop you, throw you, sway you. You know, a lot of times we'll say, you know what, we may bend a little, but we ain't gonna break. So you just gotta know how to sway it on back. You know, and sometimes you may have to bend so you don't blend. You know, so talking about standing out. See, because we all want to stand out. Sometimes we just maybe gotta go low so we can stay high. And that's what I got my takeaway as she talked about what's doing. And that's what this Black woman takeaway is all about. You know, take over. My takeaway to take over. And you have to ask yourself, are you really ready to take over your life? Because God has pretty much already given us what we needed. It's you that has not given yourself permission. Right? So, and that's what we have to do. That was her last P. You know, I love the power to P. You know, y'all gonna hear about that later, right? Yes, and that's what it is. So we are giving ourselves permission to just win. Do it to yourself. Another thing she said, the biggest thing she said for me is that life is life. If we are fortunate enough, it's daily. But we shouldn't let life take us out of our life. We should have everything in place so when life comes, we're still going to be okay. When she talked about all the things that happen in her life, it wasn't a coincidence. It was not by chance. It was her destiny. And she took the reins and she followed it. So I absolutely love that. But we got some other powerful women that's getting ready to come to the stage, right? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Who we got up here next?
All right, well, we've got Dr. Sabrina Watson, who's going to come to the stage. And I know she's getting mic'd up, getting ready back there. So, you know, this is just such a really great day. Every day is a great day because, you know, you get a chance to take the opportunity to learn from so many different women. And that's the great thing about our experiences. And, you know, there is the TMI, too much information. You know, you just get up there and you do your emotional vomiting. But when we tell our stories, your emotional vomiting, you know.
You just can't walk.
I know, right?
Throw up all
Yeah.
You gotta inhale. Look, you gotta inhale that for a minute, and we should inhale vomit because that was good.
Yeah, you know, because there's a big difference between emotional vomiting and truly telling your story for the purpose of empowering others. And, you know, a lot of times we get ashamed or we think that, you know, the things that we've gone through are failures when truly they are just lessons that we've learned. And the thing is, if we've learned a lesson from it, when we share it in the right way, in the right forum, and for the purpose of enlightening others, then we can transfer that lesson to somebody else.
So basically what she's saying, right, is your mess don't have to be messy. Let me say that again. Your mess don't have to be messy. Because it's all about your delivery and how you give it. Because we all got our mess. We all got our mess. But what we do with it, now that's a whole nother story when you're talking about empowerment. Because we can all go to our story banks and pull them out. And pull them out and pull them out and pull them out. But what have you done with it? So even if you're telling your story, for those of you that's online, we all got a story. Our story is uniquely our own. But what you do with it as you present it to the world, don't make it messy. But know, like she said, that your trash is somebody else's treasure. And that's what we're going to learn out of it, because all the things that she's grown through, You know, she said she stood in front of the door. I think she just clicked the damn thing down. She just like did a 1-2 kapow. And as thinking about that, we got the next kicker that's getting ready to come on up here to the stage.
Yes.
All right. So are y'all ready for our next powerhouse? Are you? That was a question. Are you ready for our next powerhouse? If you are, then I want you to help me bring to the stage none other than Dr. Sabrina Watson. Yes! Woo!
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes. On fire. On fire. I am so excited. Thank you, Bobette. Thank you, Candace, Dr. Stephanie D. Barnes. This has been amazing. For those of you who are online that's been following us, I hope you're soaking all of this in. From this morning, from the beginning, Candace Camille, she inspires me so much, okay? 3-inch heels. And did y'all see her with this? I mean, this thing, I was over there sweating with tennis shoes on. She's working it and speaking without even breathing hard. I'm panting, okay? So I say that to say that we all, we're just really fortunate to be in each other's company. We're very fortunate to be able to hear each other's story. We're fortunate to be able to receive from each other. And I'm just going to continue on the narrative that's already begun today. Is that okay? I'm not going to try to be too scripted. So I might pause. I might to get my thoughts together. I might make a mistake here or two with my grammar back and forth, but that's okay. It's all going to come out good. And by the time I'm done, you're going to know exactly why I came today. So we've heard from that it's not a mistake. Wherever you are in life, there are no mistakes that happen. Coming up here, I was just sitting down there listening to Bobette and getting myself together, because right before I come to speak, I often go through this blank space where I forget everything. Everything is gone. Prepared for weeks, but it's gone. And Candace Camille has been sharing with me why physiologically some of those things do happen. But one of the things that I love that happens taking the stage, I love to speak. And one of the things I learned personally for myself, and for those of you who are listening, if you do desire to be a public speaker, one of the things that I've learned is that in the brain, that fear and gratitude cannot coexist. Have you all heard that? Yeah. So when you come to the stage, one of the things that people fear the most in life is speaking live in front of a public. Well, and that fear has a tendency to want to shut you down, block your memory, gets your heart rate up, your adrenaline pumping, gets you nervous and all jittery. I'm not feeling that right now, because here's what I do. As I'm sitting there, I'm going back in my life. And 10 years ago, one of the things that I had dreamt of was being a public speaker and sharing my life story that would impact other women, particularly women, positively. And one of the things that I realized is that if I'm going to be able to do that, then I have to be able to present myself in a way that I'm comfortable and natural, that you know that I'm real. So I start thanking God. And so I start thanking him, and I went back about 15 years ago in my mind, just a few minutes ago. And I remember being a little over 30 years old when I was a few sizes smaller, with skin a little bit tighter, and a little bit sassier. You know, we all remember we've been there, thinking that we were everything to everybody, and that everything we walked on, everything was gold. We just turned it into gold when we just walked on by. That was me about 15, 20 years ago. And, you know, thinking that you're that way and then having a dream of wanting to impact the world, they don't really mix. Why? Because with no experience and thinking that the world revolved around me meant I had nothing to offer anyone else that would be of value to their life. And so one of the things that God started to show me was that those dreams that he was giving me that I had, they were really for my future. the dreams of wanting to impact the world, the dream of wanting to make a difference in the lives of families and single mothers and young people. All of those things, he gave them to me, but I was thinking that they were for right now, and right now being about 15 years ago. But really, I heard Joyce Meyer say once that they will know you by the fruit that you bear. And when I heard her say that, I became sad. I became confused. Because at 30 years old, what I thought I had to share with the world was that I grew up the youngest of three. One of the few, I didn't know my father very well. And when I did know him, felt rejected by him. But I had the blessing of having a very strong mother who worked 2, sometimes 3 jobs to take care of 3 children. A mother who wasn't very well educated. But this woman, my mother, she produced a PhD, a colonel in the Air Force, the master's degree in computer science, and another college graduate with 2 wonderful sons. So something that she did led me to be where I was at that age. But really, that was all that I had to share with the world, was what my mother did. Okay? So as I went through my way, and you know, I finished my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I was just thinking the world was mine. So let's just fast forward a little bit. I graduate from my undergrad, get a job, go back to school and get my master's degree in education, become a school teacher, have my first son. After I have him, I stay home for a couple of years to take care of him. Then I decide, you know, I don't want to go right back to the classroom. I want to stay home and nurture my son a little bit. I got married, of course. Then after that, decide to launch out into real estate. So got a real estate license, started selling real estate, and went through a separation, okay? And after that, had my second child when I got back with my husband. After that, I decided, you know what? I'm going to stay home with her for a couple of years because I taught in between. I stayed home with my daughter for a couple of years. And right after that, I got a divorce. And remind you, I want to take you back to the idea that I had a dream of wanting to be this, public speaker and help the world and change other women to, think the way that I did. That was all wrong. Because I didn't know then that all these other things were going to take place. So I get the divorce, and then my children's father dies. So the beautiful skin, the nice hair, the size 4, 5, whatever you want to call it, becomes a stressed, weight gaining, depressed, fearful, anxiety-ridden, doubtful, single mom of 2 children who were now looking up to me and grieving for the loss of their father. And my prayer changed. I stopped wanting to let other people look at me, and I start closing myself in, because I said, there is something about my life. There's something about my life right now that's happening. With all of these things that are taking place, there's something meaningful that's happening. That's the only thing I could think. With, financial issues with the loss of a spouse. We know that. I was back into school, had to end all of those, side businesses and go back to the classroom because we needed health insurance. So I went back to teaching. I enrolled in a graduate program. Let me tell you why. For those of you, let me stop right now. Because I don't know who's out there right now that may be experiencing some things in life where you're down. Things aren't quite going the way you wanted them to, but you still have a dream. You're still dreaming of the day when you can be the person that you know you were created to be. But you've got children, you've got bills, you've got car payments, rent, mortgage payments. You've got health issues. You've got groceries you need to buy, food on the table. You've got people that are depending on you at your job. You can't get time off. And we're telling you to start a business? Oh, God. Well, let me share with you. Let me share with that. If any of that resonates with any of you, here's what you need to do. And I'm going to come back to why I know what I know. Because it's important to me that you know I'm not just up here just talking at the lips. I'm not the person anymore that just wants you to look at me. Because I've been down, way down. Okay? And to the point where I would come home from work and my children, they're all excited to see me. And I'm in there cooking, don't want to talk to anybody, cleaning up the kitchen, helping them with their homework. I'm a school teacher, I'm grading papers, don't want my children to talk to me because I've got the weight of the world on me. But then I heard Joyce Meyer say, they will know you by the fruit that you bear. What does that mean? That means they're going to know you. People are going to know me in my life by the things that I leave behind me, by the steps that I take and the air that follows my flow. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I had to act, spelled A-C-T. I had to act. And the first thing I do was the A. I had to acknowledge, this is my life. This is where I am. When he died and we were well, financially well off, we didn't really want for anything, all that went away. And the insurance that I thought I had for him, gone. They found a way out of it. You want me to go further? Let's go deeper. My children's college education fund that was being prepared for them was loaned to a girlfriend that I didn't know about. And to me, education was one of the most important things for my children. So what do? Okay, we're still talking about the dream. The dream hasn't left, guys, because God created me. And it's still in me. Even with all of the mess that we're going through, it's in there. Okay? We're going to talk about how to get it out today. Okay? So this was my life. I could have decided to stay in bed, be depressed, be down, let my children grow up without me, and have whatever kind of futures that they were going to have with the deceased father and now an absent mother. But I decided to act. Write that down, A-C-T. And the A stands for acknowledge. I had to acknowledge where I was in life. I had to acknowledge that I was no longer that cute little thing that everyone would look after and compliment and say wonderful things about. I was no longer that. And I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, I don't recognize me. But God, if you'll show me what I need to do, I believe you'll take me back to this place again. So I had to acknowledge that I was scared, that I was fearful, that I didn't know how even the next month or year was going to play out. I didn't know what my children would turn out to be. I had to acknowledge that I had spent a past without a father to now console me now that I was all alone. But on the positive side, remember gratitude? Gratitude, when you're fearful, there are some things that happen with your brain and hormones that are released with fear that cause you to clam up and to be a person that you really don't like. It's uncomfortable and awkward. But when you start being thankful and gratuitous for the things that you do have, the fact that I was still breathing, I was thankful for. The fact that my children were looked up to me and they loved me and they believed in me, I was thankful for. The fact that not only after I had to use my personal savings to bury him, that the Lord saw a way to give me a house, that I was able to buy a house shortly thereafter. It all happened now. There's some other things in the wash. I'm skipping around a little bit, but hang with me for a second. I was grateful for the fact that I still had my right mind and that I could think through this and figure out a way. I was grateful that he still had given me a dream, and in my gut, I still saw myself in that high place of being helpful and impactful to the world, even though everything on a daily and an hour basis was tearing me down and making me sad and making me feel like I wasn't a woman. Because I wore the tool belt now. The garage was filled with tools and hammers and drills that I had to use to fix things around the house. So I had to acknowledge, okay? Then I had to claim what I wanted out of all of that mess. It was a mess. But I'm saying, I want this for my children. My children will grow up to be children as if they had a mother and a father. When people see them, they will not know that they grew up with a single mother. I had to get myself out of my mother's house because I love her dearly and she was a wonderful person, but my children were my own. And they needed to see me in a place of authority. And they did not need to have anyone else's voice to tell them what I wanted them to know. We have to take ownership of that. All of that is a part of your entrepreneurial journey. It's not just you in the business. It's what the business means for your children, for your family, for your sisters and your cousins and your nieces and even your nephews and your boyfriends and your sons. They're all looking up to us. So I had to claim what I want. So I had to start speaking in a way that would say what I wanted my future to hold. And part of that, ladies, I had to shut off what the world was saying to my spirit. I had to turn off Bravo. I couldn't be concerned with what the housewives were doing. Because a pair of their shoes would have probably paid my mortgage, so they had nothing that they could say to me regarding my life. So for 1 year, for 1 full year, sisters, I turned it off. What am I talking about? I turned off the TV, turned off the radio. I turned out any outside voices that were not speaking to me what I needed to hear for my future. I wasn't living day to day anymore. That's a key. That's a power move. When your life gets you down, stop living day to day. Start living towards tomorrow. Because it'll change everything you do. People that I meet, some of them are perplexed about, well, why won't you take a chance and do this now? Because I've been conditioned God has showed me that everything I do needs to be intentional for tomorrow. And if it's only going to help me today, I get a choice whether I do it or not. It's not necessary because today is already here. The present is now. It's yours. You're here. You're fine. But it's the future that we need to be working towards. And because you're here, it says God is already taking care of us right now. But we need to rely on him and believe in him and his purpose for our lives for the future. So I began to claim what I want and speak what I want and shut down outside voices that were not speaking in that way. And then you want to trust. Trust that you have everything within you that's going to get you to where you need to be. Now, I have a short story that I'll share with you, and I'm going to make you all just hold off on that because I will be back and speaking again later, and I'll share that story with you. And the story, many of you may have heard it. I'll give you a little clue. It's called The Acres of Diamonds. Okay, some of you may have heard it, but it was a story that really changed my life. And I'm looking forward to sharing that with you later. But you have to trust that I may not have money for a new dress. I may not have money for makeup. I might not have money for my son's new baseball cleats that he needs. I might not have this. I might not have that. But I know how I can get it, and I believe it will be mine. You have to trust in that and stand in it. And you have to speak to your children and your family and even the people in your business. When you're looking at your business and you're projecting where you want to go by the end of 2018, start talking in a manner that says it's already there. That's where that trust, that faith comes from. And it works itself out. The faith is the things that we cannot see. So if you see it, it wasn't faith. You got to believe it. It's going to happen for you if you trust. So let's go back. ACT. You want to acknowledge where you've been in your past. Okay? Then you want to claim where you want to go. And then you're going to trust the process. Just trust it. All right? Now, let's fast forward to that. That's where we have been. Now let's move forward to the future. Let's see, you read left or right, so I might be going this way for y'all watching on Facebook. While you're on Facebook right now, just in the comment area, give me a couple takeaways. What's standing out to you? And then as you're commenting, go ahead and make a claim for yourself for 2018. We're with you. You've got us standing behind you. We're going to read your comments. Claim what you want right now, and then go ahead and stand in that thing, trust it, and start working towards it. Not even knowing how it's going to happen, but just believe that whatever you want to happen, that you have everything within you to make it so. I promise you that. Now let's take ACT again. Write it again for me. ACT. Now that we've acknowledged where we've been, we've had some stumbles and some struggles, we've fallen down, we've failed, we've had disappointment and tragedies and traumas that have happened in our lives, and we're just trying to make it day to day. Let's do better than try. We want to first, we're going to start acting, okay? It's taking some actions for the things that we claim. Those actions are directly related to the things you're claiming, to the things you're trusting for. And whatever those are, only you know, because they're directly related to what you say you want to do in life. They're directly related to what you want to be in life. And let me tell you, your vision is, I don't want to put percentages on it, but your vision is mostly tied into something you've already done. I don't know what it is. Sister Babette said, the fact that her brother, she didn't know why he was deaf. And that was already done before her mother even, probably thought of her in the world. It was already preconceived. So we don't know why things happen in our lives, but we need to embrace it. I've heard someone say recently, and it stumped me to the point where I thought about it for like a half an hour. I was riding with someone, and I'm kind of bossy on the passenger side. I'm like, take this way, it's quicker, Because I always want to get places quick. I got a lot to do, okay? Minutes count. And they said to me, no, I like the path of least resistance. And I sat in the passenger seat. And I said, you know what? My life wasn't the path of least resistance. And that's when it occurred to me, and I heard a whisper that said, because the fruit that you bear, you had to go to the path of most resistance to get to where you need to be so you can be in a position to share something with the world that is valuable and real. The path of least resistance means I'm going to make this decision because it won't hurt me. I'll make that decision because I don't have to give anything. I'll make that decision because I don't have to sacrifice anything. I'll date this man because I'll get my bills paid. I'll go this direction because it'll help make life easier for me. Those are the paths of least resistance. But not often do you learn what you need to learn in your life with that path of least resistance. The resistance is, man, this thing is knocking me out. I don't have a spouse. I am a single mom. But I'm not willing to just have any man in my house just to help me to pay those bills and take care of my kids. They are too important to me. And if it's going to be someone, it's going to be right. And when I say right, it means he has to be in line with what God has given me in my heart for my family. And even in your business. If the people that come into your business, they have to be in line with your vision. Yeah? So, we're going to the second act. I like it. I just made that up. This is the second act, okay? This is where we're starting to take action towards the future. Now, the C, y'all not going to like this. The C is for change. Why aren't you going to like it? Because it's the changes that you need to make, that I need to make. Because how many of you know that if you continue to do things the same way, you will continue to get the same results? And for me, the biggest change was I turned off the what? I turned off that TV. And I'm about to go through another cycle of that. Let me just share it with you. Because in life, and later on we'll talk about the learning cycle and how we go from unconscious consciousness to consciousness, to being intentional about it, to knowing what we know. We go from not knowing to what we don't know. And Mr. Golden talked about it, our ignorance. We don't know what we don't know. Okay? But when somebody has shared knowledge with you, you are now all responsible for what you've heard today from all of these businesswomen here, all of these leaders. You can no longer say, I didn't know. I didn't know that I couldn't have the business that I've dreamt of for the last 5 years because I grew up in a household where I was abused and people told me I couldn't. I didn't know that I couldn't. I didn't know that I could grow up as a single person and be a single mom to 4 kids and raise those kids to grow up and be, wonderful citizens in society. And I can do it all by myself without a man if God wants that to happen that way. I didn't know that I could grow up and have no money, grow up poor, and to grow up and be a multimillionaire. I didn't know those things. But now you've heard today more than once, more than twice, numerous times, and you're going to continue to hear that you can. We are the examples. So the change, the C, is for the changes that you need to make right in line with the things you claim you want for the future, right in line with the things you're trusting for. The changes you need to make are directly related to those things that are going to propel you and launch you into the future, to where you need to be. And the T is trust. I'm sorry, that's the past. Hang on. We done stepped into the future. We're on the second act. So the second act, the A is action, the C is change, and the T is, oh, my favorite, teach. Because now that you have all of this experience, now I want y'all to stay with me now, because I'm bringing my story full circle. Now that you have the life experiences, now that you've been down, you've been around, you've been under, you know what it takes to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and to make things happen, not only for yourself, but for your family, for your employees, for the people who are counting on you in your business. You're now responsible for teaching someone else. And so to begin to wrap things up for me, my dream or my goal, one of the things I wanted to do, and I'll share a story with you how I came to want to do this here today. I was a public school teacher for over 10 years, teaching elementary education, and I loved teaching. But I got to the point where I was dreaming so much about bigger things that I needed to do. I have no glasses on. So anyway, I'm being given a time, and I do get long-winded, Trevor says. So, okay, 20 minutes. Okay. Beware to give me a mic. But, you know, so let me go back and get my thoughts together. I was a school teacher, thank you, for over 10 years. But I was dreaming, and my mind was unfocused towards the end of my career there. I was so unfocused on the children and thinking about how can I impact even more? Because I got to the place where I realized that these 5, 6, and 7-year-old children needed me less, and their parents needed me more. When I would sit in parent-teacher conferences and hear these mothers have no idea what to do with their children, no idea what to tell them at night. And the children are coming home and telling me the things that are happening at home. And I'm like, you poor child, how on earth can you learn these math equations when you're thinking about what just happened to you in your home? So as I start to, transition to a place where I needed to get out of the classroom, I envisioned myself being as a public speaker. So what I was about to tell you was a story when I first got my teacher's contract out of my master's degree. I finished my master's degree early in early childhood education. And they have what's called early career commitment for teachers, where they get the teachers right even before you graduate, just to make sure that they get the best ones of the crop and that they have their class schedule filled with teachers for the next year. And they invited me to a banquet to celebrate this early career commitment. It was a celebration. And so I'm sitting next to the lady who was going to be my principal, and she says, you're going to go up and speak and just tell them who you are and a little bit about yourself. I'm like, what? Me? I said, I'm not used to doing this. So I sat there, and y'all know fear? My hands started sweating, my feet started sweating, I'm jittery, and I didn't hear anything that any of the other speakers said around me, because all I'm focused on is what I'm going to say, okay? So I tell my principal, and I'm trying to be cute because she just hired me for her school, and I want to be prim and proper, and so I said, excuse me, I'm going to go to the restroom. And so we were at tables where we were having a lunch together. And so I excused myself from the table, and I walk out. We're in this little restaurant. It's an older restaurant. And I walk into a door who was, the doors, there are some doors. I had to use the restroom, and there were doors with no names on them, okay? But they had some drawings on them. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to go in this, because I'm a bundle of nerves at this point, because I know I have to get up and speak. So I just open the door like you do in the bathroom, or I swing the door open, And then I see men doing like this. Oh, Lord is right. And they turn around like this. Excuse me. And then I just walk out. And then I go into the other door. And I used the restroom and took care of my business, went back to my table, and sat down and had my lunch. So it's my turn to speak, and they call me up to the podium and say what school that I just got hired at and what college I came from. And so I go up to the podium, and I still have no idea, what I'm really going to say, and I'm nervous. And the first thing out of my mouth is, "Good afternoon. Some of you I may have met just in our time together during lunch today, and others of you I met in the men's restroom." And the place erupted in laughter. Now, I'm not a comedian, but that was my moment of fame. Chris Rock, look out, okay? So, but at that point, my warm energies came back. And I was excited and inspired. And I'm like, little old me has the power to ignite emotion from people like that. So I'm like, oh, this is good. So I used my students in the elementary level for the next 10 years to practice my public speaking on. Because I would get in front of them, and it was a show. Because I ran my classroom like a business. I had facilitators who were responsible for certain things. When you teach kindergartners, I'm kind of telling my secret for all your teachers out there. When you teach kindergartners and they have to use the bathroom and they don't tie their shoe and they come out the bathroom dragging that shoestring and whatever that was on the floor in the bathroom, you find a facilitator who can tie shoes. And the kids who can tie shoes, they're the ambassadors of shoe time for that week, okay? Because I need to keep my hands clean so that I can keep my germs away, okay? But as I start to close up here, that became a very, it was a launching point for me to say, wow, this was an experience I cannot deny. And to bring it forward. Okay, and then we're going to wrap up with our ACT of the past, okay, our acknowledging, our claiming, our trusting from the things that we've had bad experiences from, the things we cannot control in our life, to our second act in life, which is our actions and the changes we're going to make and how we're going to teach and impact others, okay? That's our second act. But I had an experience, and the Lord allowed me to speak with a group of teenage women in an organization at home, and I did some trainings for them throughout the summer on leadership and team building and that kind of thing. And the first time I was able to speak, there was probably about 100 young people and their parents, and I really had worked on that speech, and I got in front of them, and I was so excited because I'm like, now mind you, this is more recent. So I'd gone through all of my experiences, and it was almost like the Lord gave me the opportunity to say, okay, here's your chance to see if you still want to dream this dream. Well, let me tell you all, and this is for those of you who have those dreams, and in your mind you say, oh God, life would be so great if I could just do this. I would feel this way. I'd be more confident. Things would work out for me. My family would be, right behind me. I have the support and friends that I need. That feeling that you're feeling that you think exists, you have no idea. Because after I spoke to that group, let me tell y'all, I'm going to try to hold myself together too because I feel it in my spirit. When I finished, and to see their faces and the things they said to me when I was done, all I could do, sisters, was get in my car and I cried. I cried. It was such a joyous experience. It was a cry of joy because it was so much more than I could have ever imagined. So the reason you think you want to be this or that, there is a reason. and you think it may feel the way that you think it may feel and bring all these joy and happiness to your life, listen, it's beyond anything you can ever imagine when you're walking in your purpose, when you're living the life you're supposed to live. So don't give that up. It's worth cooking those meals, cleaning that house, working that extra job, whatever you have to do. It's worth it, because those things that you do are leaving the trail and the legacy of the people who are watching you. We have no idea who's watching us, right? And people today, more so than ever, they don't care what you say. They want to know how you live. Okay? So let me just share a little bit of fast forward. I've taken you to my past. Let me just fast forward you and give you some outcomes of what's happened in my life. So I bought a house, and my children and I have lived in that house now for over 9 years, which is when their father passed away in 2009. And my son has gone through his own struggles, and we have gone at it because he was a daddy's boy. And he found it very difficult to listen to his mom tell him things that his dad should have been alive to tell him to do. So it was a bit of a struggle. Along the way, God challenged me, and he told me to write a book. And the name of the book is When You Have to Be the Man. All right, let me take back, because when people hear that, they often think something. I have no desire to be a man. I love being a woman. As a matter of fact, it is a requirement when I meet a man that he makes me feel like I don't have to open my door or go and get my tool bag out of that garage. I don't have to change a light bulb. You know, I want him to not even want me to have to push a cart in the grocery store. He can do it, and I can just put whatever I want in the grocery basket. Hello? So, you know, the book was When You Have to Be the Man, and it really was a journal during my darkest times. So I encourage you all that if you know a single mom or a divorced mom or a military wife, somebody that's in this game and doing way more than they should by themselves, you might want to pick them up a copy of this book, because in it, I take them through the mindset and the emotions of what they're feeling. And I'm drawn by scripture, where the Lord would give me scriptures and I would read them, and it would be the answer to what I was feeling and experiencing at that moment. And then I would have issues with my children, and then he would show me what to say and how to love them and how to touch them, and it would change the things in my house. Then sisters, that classroom experience that I was really struggling with, I'm like, Lord, you got to get me out of here. And then all he kept saying was, jump out the boat, jump out the boat. And I'm not encouraging anybody to leave their job, but it's been since 2013, and I have not looked back. And what I make now far exceeds in a week what I would have to make in a whole month. And I don't say that to impress you. Only that I acted. I acknowledged this is my life. I cannot control the things that are happening to me on a daily basis. But I'm claiming that this is not where I want to be, and I want to be there. And I trusted, and I started to take action where I changed the things in my daily life that would change my thought process and help me to see some things that were really starting to happen, to show that this thing is real and it can be. I can still have that dream. And then I started teaching other people, because it has to come full circle. You just can't receive. You have to give. That's why you all are in business. And I'm sure you know this, so I'm not telling you all. But for someone who's listening out there live, you are where you are. Your goal and your drive to want to have your own successful business is not for you. Hate to tell you. You will reap the benefits of it, yes, but it's for those who are coming after you. It's for your children. It's for the young girl that does not have anyone to speak strength and courage and empowerment into her life, that's watching you and you don't know it. You see, for me, one of the things I taught my son was that it's more important for you to do the things that you know that are right when I'm not looking. That's more important. Why? Because it's gonna instill in you a pride in your own self as a man. And the thing that I tell my daughter is that it doesn't matter what girls and other people say about you at school. When you look in the mirror, who do you say you are? Okay? So today, my children minister to me now, because as you go full circle, and I'll talk later about the learning cycle, how you can be in a place of ignorance and not know what you don't know, but then you get to the fourth quadrant where you are fully knowledge and functional, like you're driving a car. You don't have to think. You can miss an exit sometime because it's unconscious now. You do it so well. You don't think about it. And so but that cycle can repeat itself. You can get back to a place of ignorance and not knowing because you took for granted what you knew. Okay, y'all with me? Okay, so now they tell me, Mom, you know you're strong. You know you can do this. You know we wouldn't be where we were today if it weren't for you. And then they tell me things that just encourage me, guys, and it makes the sacrifices that I've made in life well worth it. That son of mine, and we'll talk about later some of the struggle he's gone through as a young man without a father, but how we've challenged those things, and how having a business, because I know we are entrepreneurs, but they're not separate, okay? Our family, our lives, our missions, they're not so far removed from our businesses. So the businesses that I was able to develop, there were two of them. I was able to leave that classroom. And when I did, immediately God said, you remember back when you used to decorate people's houses for free? He said, go back and do that and market yourself to real estate agents and to house flippers and investors and stage their houses. And don't go after business because I'm going to bring it to you. 4 years later, my phone rings, it rings, it rings. I've got 2 houses. Can you stage them? I'm going out of town. I'll do it next week. That's fine. You know, and business is it's more than I even want. But you have to trust it. You have to make some changes, and then you have to teach other people what you've learned in the process. So my son now enjoys a full scholarship to college. Yes. Because the thing that tried to hold me down with my children, losing that education fund, that was then. The second act was that when I took action and I changed certain things about myself, my patterns, my habits, and I was able to teach them certain things, the result was he was able to do certain things in his own life. He's a baseball fanatic, and he played well, and I sought out resources to help him when I couldn't afford it, and I found people who would give him free lessons when I couldn't afford to pay someone, and he became good. He became good. I don't know, he said he has dreams of being in the MLB. I have dreams of him graduating from college, so we both have a dream. And so, you know, the bottom line is my daughter, who's 14, is now writing her first book. She's writing her first book. Guess what she's writing about? This is on her. She wanted to write them about her experiences in our current home. And we've named it after the street we lived on, where she wants, and she's a great artist, so she's drawing and illustrating and writing lessons that she's learned in life throughout. So as I close up with you today, I thank you for your time. I hope I've said the right things. That was my prayer, is that I would say something that's going to connect with someone who's listening today and someone who's here, maybe even in our group, that you start to see your business with a new perspective. And the performance things will take care of themselves if your intentions with it are right. And so I thank you for your time today. My name is Dr. Sabrina Watson. You can find me on Facebook at Dr. Sabrina Watson Live. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, DrSabrinaWatson.com, or you can join my No More Limits for Women.com also. I know that's a lot, but I'll be back before you. Thank you all for your time. Have a great day. Woo!
All right.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You rocked it.
Thank you.
One of the things she said to me, always look for my.
I know. I think my mic is on. I'm ready. I'm live. I'm all the way live. Take your voice.
Take my voice off mute. You cannot mute me.
That's right.
Mic check.
Microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, let's give it up for DJ 5-Star in the back. Yes.
But you know what? One of the things while he's getting my mic together, as I listened to Dr. Watson, she simply said, let's see, gotta check something out back here, y'all. Hold on. I'm on. I'm always on. But anyway, one of the things she said to me is that we really have the power to say, this is not how my story's gonna end. Like, even as we look at our life, the canvas that it is, you get to stroke it, paint it, and end it any way you like. Your beginning does not have to represent your ending. Yeah, let me say that again. That was good, I have to say. You online, your beginning don't have to represent your ending. You get to decide what it's going to look like. You can't be anxious about something you got control over. You are in control of what's going to happen to you. Outside, you just can't worry about it. So what were some of y'all takeaways from Dr. Watson as we went? I would love to hear it.
And as you're thinking about your takeaways, I just want to just give a shout out to Sandra, right? Sandra Foster, right? I got it right in the audience. Let me tell you about Sandra. We've been talking about taking action. Sandra was at home watching. She was like, this ain't good enough. I got to be in the room. So I just wanted to just take a moment to give a shout out to Sandra, because she wanted to be in the room. And that's something that's so powerful about what we're doing with Black Womenpreneur 2018. This is about being in the room. This is about being with other women who are taking things to the next level, who are acting as Dr. Sabrina just taught us. And I just wanted to acknowledge your action. So I just had to just do that for a moment. So again, yes.
Floridians. My son says it's pronounced Floridians. Is that how you say it?
Floridians. Y'all from Florida. Y'all folks from Florida.
You're here from Florida, right? But if you are in the Tampa area, I challenge you to do just what she did. Wherever you are, just get up. You know, again, it's not about getting up, it's about staying up. So if you get up, come on down to where you are. If you're watching us online and you are in the area, because basically that's what this is all about. This is us getting up and keeping each other up as we move through this. So come on down. Come on down. Price is right. Come on down, right? As we go into this. But then we're going to just get some of your takeaways from Dr. Watson as we wait till everybody else just come back in the room as we're getting ready to go to lunch, because it's just about time for a break. So Nicole is going to give us her takeaway.
All right, so I'm going to come down. All right, there you go. I'm a Barker's beauty.
So my takeaway from the talk was just that is resilience in action. Because Black women, we are so resilient, and that's what I saw just watching her. And I'm just like, God, you're just amazing how life tries to come in and take us down, but then it's that thing on the inside of us that just rises up. And thank you for that, and just being so open and transparent. It was just powerful.
All right, that's right, resilience. Rocky. Dun, dun. I got a dance for every song. All right, so who else is going to give us their takeaway next? All right, Sandra, I'm going to put you on the spot. Since I spotlighted you, what is your takeaway from what you've been able to hear thus far?
Well, I would say definitely the resiliency factor. And I heard that she was a teacher, so making that transition myself from being a teacher into my own business, just wanting to know what the steps were and not to let fear stop me, because kind of at that phase right now, but just taking that action and moving forward and letting God take the rest of you, make that one step, and He'll open the doors up for you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That's all right. So I told you I got to dance for every song. So who's going to be next? All right, I'm going to come on over here to you, Trisha.
Yeah, just to piggyback on what Sandra was saying, is that taking action, how important it is to take action to make things happen, because so many times, we talk about things a lot. We get together as girlfriends and we talk and talk and talk, but it's not until we actually begin to put things in action that they begin to happen for us. So
that's true. That's true. All right, Kim, what you got? What you got, girl?
I would say that something that was really huge for me is just the fact that she didn't want other people's voices in her children's ears, that no matter what was going on around her, she was still their mother and still wanted to sow into them and still, have her voice there and still have them to see her as an authority figure in their lives. So, and still run her home regardless of everything else that was going on, because you better believe her daughter was certainly watching, and it would have been so much easier. It probably would have been easy for you to lay down, right? And just let some, sulk and let someone come and, do the laundry, cook the food, take the kids to school, all those sorts of things. You had every quote unquote situation set up for you to do that. But the fact that you still stood up, you rose up, and you showed a wonderful example to your children. So if they ever are in a position where they're thinking about quitting, all they have to do is call you up and they will keep going.
All right. Yes. And one of the things that, while Dr. Sabrina put other people on mute, that's something that we have to empower ourselves, because sometimes to find our own voices, we have to drown out those voices that are overshadowing us. So, we talk about in Black CEO Women's Council, take yourself off mute, but to do that sometimes you got to put some other people on mute.
I am here. Of course, they're trying to put me on mute, but it ain't happening. So I'm going to grab Dr. B's microphone. And even for those of you online, as Dr. Watson walk off the stage, we actually want to get your takeaways. So write down in the comments, you want to make sure you use the hashtag what? BlackWomen Takeover hashtag. Epic 2018, so 2018, I'm sorry, and put that down. You want to make sure that you are using those hashtags. We would love to hear your takeaway as we prepare for a break. You know, sometimes you just gotta take a minute to refuel in order to stay up, and that's what we're getting ready to do. We're gonna get ready to take it down. Does anyone else, even for you at home, if you have another takeaway, put it down. For those of us that's in the room, do you have something to say? Are you willing to take the mic? So who's willing to take the mic? As speakers, you should never, ever, ever give up the opportunity to take the mic. So let me ask that question again. Who is willing to take the mic right now and give their takeaways? Do I have anybody that's, okay, so I see some hands raised. All right.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna come down there to you. Actually, come on up here. So you can be on film, on camera, so they can see you. Come on, girl. All right, there you go. The mic is yours. Go up front, and I'm gonna come behind.
Okay. My takeaway was taking action, but also. Oh, my name is Marini Jackson from Savannah, Georgia, and my takeaways were taking action, but also knowing the changes that I need to make to be in line with the things I say that I want, because we can say that we want to do something, but if our actions aren't lining up, we're really just lying to ourselves. So that was very important, but also learning from our experience, we have to teach others, because we can't really leave people where they are and just get the success for ourselves, but we have to be able to teach and reach back and pull other people up as well.
Awesome. Now, how hard was that? Wasn't hard at all. You see how easy it is to take yourself off mute? Let's give her a round of applause as she heads back to her seat. It is so easy to take yourself off mute. And like Candace said, you know, when you're given the opportunity to give voice to your purpose, give voice to your thoughts, give voice to the things that matter, don't ever give up that opportunity. Don't ever let that pass you by, because it's about it's about the action you take, not about just the desire that you have. You got to transcend just aspiration and actually step into action. Yeah. Transcend the aspiration.
If you are a speaker, you want to make sure that you check in with Spalding to make sure you're on the roster. So if you're just getting here, that's here. We got beautiful Spalding over here. To my left, maybe to your right, you want to check in with her as we prepare to go to lunch. So we're getting ready to take it down right now. Just not yet. I don't want y'all to leave the room, because I need to get a little bit intimate with you guys here. So I'm gonna need y'all, you know, we came here to be together, but y'all all spread out. So I want y'all to come on in.
Come on closer.
Come on down, y'all. Come on down. So sometimes you just gotta change where you're at and what you're doing to hear something differently, right?
Yeah, come on. So, we won't bite.
Yeah, so we ain't got, but I may nibble a little.
Yeah. if we bite, you'll like it. Oh, come on down.
Me and Dr. B get ready to have an intimate conversation with you, because we gonna come on down on stage and we just gonna talk to y'all. We're gonna do this woman to woman. So if you are a gentleman in this room, I'm throwing you out. So,
you're like, look, you're gonna wait till I walk all the way down here. You could have just let me sit down back there. You wait till I get comfortable. You ain't got to go home. All right, y'all know how to. You ain't got to go home. You had to get up out of here, right? We'll bring you back. We'll bring you back.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Mic check. And we are here live at the Womanpreneur 18.
y'all, boys. I got y'all. I promise. Yeah. Let's burn off that lunch. Let's burn off that lunch. Come on, let's go. Black Womenpreneur 18. We going in. Yeah. Come on and join us, queens. I'm gonna let it ride so you can burn these calories off. Let's go. Children say, if they get on your nerves, say.
All right. A little sweat ain't hurt nobody. All right, Black Womenpreneurs. You have gotten your eat on. You've gotten your groove on. Now it is time to get your learning on. All right, all right. First of all, just give yourselves a round of applause for being so awesome, for being so hot in this cold place, bringing the heat to Florida. All right, all right. So we've got some new faces. Some people have joined us, have come on in. So we're just so glad to have everybody. So glad to get this kickback off. We've gotten off to an awesome start this morning. And I do want to just take a minute to just remind you, y'all, we have some vendors here. So make sure that in between the breaks, you visit the tables. We want to support our entrepreneurs that are here, support each other by learning, but also support the vendors that are here. So if you're a vendor, just raise your hand right quick, because I know some of y'all are out. Yeah, let's make sure that we go around and support them. Make sure you visit their tables at some point. All right, awesome. So I am super excited to bring to the stage my good friend, none other than the gangsta planker, Camille Candace, wellologist, performance coach, and just all around awesome woman. So y'all just join me in bringing to the stage none other than Candace Camille.
Y'all gotta give me that's what I'm talking about. Come on. Hey, that's it. See, he know. Listen. See, y'all already move, but you know me. Movement don't occur until you move. Come on, y'all, get up. Come on. We gotta get up. Listen, I'm the new 60. If I can do this, y'all can do it. Come on. You online too. Get up wherever you are at home and let's just move, right? Sometimes you just gotta move. Movement is everything. But while you're moving, you also, just like in life, you want to make sure that you're engaged, right? That your body is aligned, right? I guess you say, how you do that, right? You pull the girls up, y'all. Pull the girls up. Yeah, pull the girls up. Hold the stomach in, squeeze the booty cheeks, right? Right there, and your body is totally ready for anything that you want to bring it. So it will allow you to perform in every room you go in, right? You want to perform in this room? Bring it up. Bring it up. You want to perform in the bedroom? Bring it up. Take it low, right? You want to perform in the boardroom? You just got to own your power and your pump, and that's what we're going to do. So that's how you do it, right? And you just breathe, because breath is life. So you want to bring the girls up, hold the stomach in, squeeze the booty cheeks, and just take your pose, right? You just got to take your pose at home, because that's the girl power, right? You guys go ahead and have a seat, because I'm getting ready to bring you what I know for sure. I am Candace Camille, the wellologist, the only wellologist, the number one wellologist recognized in the world, and I'm a performance expert. What I do is I teach women to transform and to perform better. Those women that's low in energy, that's got some health challenges, just tired of being tired and want something different. So if you're here today and you want something different and you're ready to perform at a higher level, let me just hear you say, I'm ready to perform. I'm ready to perform. That's a little low. Y'all got better than that. Are you ready? Yeah, that's it. You're ready to perform. And that's what we're going to, yes, love DJ 5-star. And that's what we're here to do today. We're here to just perform better across the board. Right? Talking about performing better in your body, performing better in your business so you can increase your bank. That's what this is all about, right? So before I get started, I just want you to answer one question for me. So by a show of hands, how many of you went to pee this morning? Right? How many of you thought about peeing? See that? Where'd your mind go? See, my pee power is, well, let me just come and say, today I come here to pee all over you, number one, right? Right? So anybody just got peed on lately? Like, ew, yeah, I see it in your face. But see, my pee is the power of perception. See, I want y'all to take note of the peas. See, when you get up in the morning, You get to decide how you're going to pee. Are you going to pee in pain or are you going to pee in pleasure? Because whichever you choose is going to determine how you perform. Take note of the P's, y'all. I'm here to pee on you today. Take note of the P's. See, because the 3 P's that I'm here to give you today is this. Preparation, that's number 1, right? Number 2 is practice. And number 3 is the process. See, because we were taught practice makes what? Now, y'all had to know that was a setup, right? Practice brings progress. Nothing is perfect, but it will bring progress. The more that you practice, the more progress that you will get. It doesn't matter what you're working on. If you're working in your body, the more you plank, the more progress you're going to see. The more you move, come on. The more you move, the more progress you're going to see. So you have to ask yourself, how much progress do you want to see in your body? It's a question for you to ask. When you ask yourself, what do I want? Where am I going? How do I want to look? When you look in the mirror, what do you see? You know, Ruben Rest says, when you look in the mirror and you see your reflection, it gives you directions. What? Yeah. When you get butterball ass naked in the mirror, what your body is telling you to do. Yes. That's right. What is it telling you to do? Look for the direction. Because if you're feeling low in energy and you're not liking what you see, if you're putting on stuff where you got to roll it, tuck it, fold it, and put it in, but you got to take it off and see it, what are you feeling? See, because it's all about what you are feeling. If you don't like it, what you going to do about it? What you going to do about it? See, because the decision is yours. And at the end of the day, you grew it. You got to move it. It's just that simple as you go along. You grew it. But then you got to prepare for it. Because as women, what do? We actually throw everything on. We keep doing. We keep doing. We keep going. We keep going. We're like the Energizer bunnies when it becomes for somebody else. But when it becomes for yourself, all of a sudden your batteries get dead. I'm tired. I'm going to lay down. But here's the deal. The more you lay down, the more you're going to stay down. And that's what happened. So when you're consistently giving everything that you have to others, you have to know it's going to take you very low, 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 low. And see, when life gets you down here and you realize that you cannot get up again, and you're knocked down like that because you have no more energy, you got no more zeal, and you normally say, I got nothing. You get the smack down and you stay there and you don't know how to get up. But how you get up is through preparation. See, because when you put something on, you got to take something away. You have to make a sacrifice and prepare to be well, to prepare in order to perform better in your life. But it's still about what do you want. I repeat this again. If you don't know what you want, you're going to settle for what you find. So are you settling in your body? Are you settling for diabetes? Right? Are you settling for heart disease? No. Come on now, somebody answer me. No. Are you settling for Alzheimer's? You know, see, because in order to perform better, when you talk about what are you doing, it's all about your intake. So when you're giving yourself stuff, when you're giving yourself people, when you're giving yourself food, when you're giving yourself books and coaches, it's all about what you're taking in. What are you putting into your space? You know, are you have the negativity in your space? Do you have the bad food in your space? Do you have the bad people in your space? See, sometimes you just got to abandon ship. Yeah, true. You have to let it go. Separation is beautiful. So when you're preparing to perform better and preparing for your next, that means you got to let some stuff go. And you got to be okay with it. And then the practice comes in. The practice comes in. Then you practice to bring progress. And then the process comes. A lot of my clients, you know, me working, especially as an NLP practitioner, they say, you know what, it's a process. I'm going to get to it. I'm like, it's no process. What process? You haven't started anything. So there's no process yet until you get the party started. Take note of the P's, y'all. You have to get this process and party started before you can get there. I guess you're saying, well, how do you know? Can I tell you a little bit about how I went from horrific to terrific? Yeah. See, because today I am CEO of Candace Camille Enterprises, right? Owner of Pure Euphoria Wellness Center, a certified emotional mastery coach, and a performance expert. But you see, it wasn't always like that, right? 27 years ago. And let me go back. So, you know, let's go back. So, let me see. First of all, I'm a grandmother, right, of 5. Let me go back of 5 so you can understand. I'm a mother of 2. My oldest is 43, and my youngest is 38. But a quick disclaimer, I had that chick when I was 2, because back then I was a hot mess, but today I'm just hot. See, you gotta own your power. You gotta own your power. But you know, even when we talk about our mess that we have gone through, so I've been through, you know, child abuse, you know, domestic violence. I've been homeless when me and my daughter lived in a phone booth, right? You know, I've been molested by my dad. So we all have these stories that we've gone through, but we don't have to stay there. So when I getting over these things, so these stories can help somebody else, you take what's good about it and you leave the rest of that mess there so you can move on. And that's how your process started. You know, but I thought that was my life, because after going through all this, I got married to a wonderful man, married for 23 years. I thought life was just, that was it. I had hit the jackpot. But see, then here comes the big C. You know, because I'm a cancer conqueror, like I told you. I'm out 27 years. You know, kick cancers behind. And that's what you have to do even when you're talking about your business, your body, your bank. You gotta fight like hell for your life if you want to perform better in any of those across the board. Because that's how that works. Yeah, they told me I had cancer. Yeah, they told me I was gonna die, but you don't get to say. You don't get to say. You are in control of your process. You know, they can tell you, you have to do this, you have to do that. Yes, you had to take chemo. Yes, you had to do radiation. Yes, you had to take medication. But it's up to you to believe that you're going to live through this, you're going to fight through it, and go through it and grow through it. And anything that you do, it's a decision, one decision. When I told him, no, I don't want it, the doctor says, what you going to do? I tell my husband, and let's go home to prepare for death. See, but that's when I didn't know God. See, because I didn't know that he was the last power. I didn't tell y'all I was a heathen, did you? See, back then I was angry. I didn't know nothing about God. But you always got somebody praying for you over here. You always got somebody praying for you that you don't know. And she told me I needed to know him, right? Well, she gave me a quick visual. Let me just tell you what she told me. Like, if you don't get to know God, you're going to hell with a pair of gasoline drawers on. So I got a quick visual, right? So I changed my mind. I thought maybe I need to get to know him a little bit. I need to get to know him. So I did. And I didn't know how to pray. But just to summarize this, I just had a conversation, just like we're having here. I had a conversation with God. And I just told him I was tired. Told him I heard he was a cool dude, right? Yeah. Cool dude. It's like, you can either fix me. I heard you can fix me. Or either your place was better than my visual and I needed to go where you were at. So I woke up the next morning, so obviously y'all see he fixed me. But see, it took some doing, and that's where the P's came in. See, because when you pray for, you surrender to it, there's still some work you gotta do. That's true, yes. Y'all, you gotta do, so there's that prayer. Yes, prayer's everything. There's that hope. Because that's the expectation. There's that faith and you believe, because we all got our BS, right? But you got to know what BS you are praying to. So is it your belief system or your bullshit? It's just that simple. And you got to know which one that you're going to. And just like I said earlier, I do love Jesus. I just cuss a little. Let me put that out there. That's just real talk here. We got some real talk going on right here. But that's how I was able to start performing better in my life. There's some systems that I developed 27 years ago that I started doing to be better in my body, to be better in my business, to be better in my money, in my relationships. And see, it all starts with you. So yes, we're trying to get all these businesses together as we go. Yes, we are grinding. So when you think of the word grind, what y'all think? See, I just think pain. When I see it grinding, I'm like, that hurt. Teeth grinding, it ain't supposed to be, So I had to change my perception of the grind, of the work that we had to do. So my new grind is this. Y'all may want to write this down, right? Grind, greatness resides in nonstop determination.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, let me say that again. Greatness resides in nonstop determination. You got to be determined for what you want, but it goes right back to knowing what you want. And that's what we talked about here today, all day. This is just some powerful stuff here. All day, determining what it is that you want and asking yourself, are you willing to go the distance to get it done? See, when I was fighting cancer, I was determined to beat this thing. After I had the conversation, got the relationship with God, right? I call him Big Daddy. I'm his number one chick. I don't know about y'all, but I heard that I share them all out, right? But after having that understanding that you have to know what you want, get determined, get consistent, get committed. See, it's not all about the body. See, these are strategies that you take across the board, right? What's your best system? Like, my best system is this body. I know how to work it from A to Z. So then I take that system and I bring it over to my relationships. I take that system and bring it over to my business. I take that system to create my bank. I'm the creator of the Plank Talk Challenge. And that was a challenge created to bring about change in 1 minute. You got a minute? It's only 60 seconds in it, as Willie Jolly says. 1 minute to make a decision to change the course of your well-being. What's it going to take for you to get more focused? What's it going to take for you to get more creative so you can build your business? See, your business is all about you. When we're building our foundations, you are the foundation, right? So without you, especially just starting off until you get all systems in place, you are the business. Just like we talked about in our little sessions, most of us are the OOO. the only operating officer until we don't have to, when we can start building a team, until we get our business aboard, and all the things that we need to get it done, it starts with you. But you have to make sure that you are in order. And see, that's where all the P's come into perspective, right? Make up your mind, because the mind is the master power. It's all a mind thing. What you think about, you really do bring about. So if you're going to lay down in pain, that's exactly what's going to happen. But if you can tell yourself, I'm going to get up and run a marathon, that's exactly what's going to happen if you decide to do the work. See, because again, we talked about that prayer, we talked about that hope, we talked about the faith, we talked about the belief system. But that last thing, that 5, when we talk about the power of 5, is the work. It's not just going to happen. You got to work at this thing, and you got to want it. Right? And I say you got to want it, because we pay for what we want, we beg for what we need. See, there's a difference between your need, your want, and your desire. See, but when you can have them line up, when we talk about alignment and line up, oh, then you have a triple double, as they say. It's across the board. But most of the time, the needs we put to the backside. And we pay for what we want. We buy what we want. So for me, I'm coming after what y'all want, see, because I know that's what y'all going to pay for. So you have to know, what is it that you want? Do you want to perform better? And where do you want to perform at? So just give me one volunteer, because I only got a little bit of time, but I just need one person that's going to tell me that they want to perform better. Anybody? Right here? So come on, come right on up here. Let's just talk about it for a minute. All right, somebody raise their hand. Come on. How you doing? What's your name?
Laura.
Here you go, Laura.
Laura Room. I bought the cold from Philly.
She brought the
Me and
cold.
Andrea.
Or maybe I want to change a new person. So tell me, what is it that you want to perform better in?
Being a bit more focused.
Okay.
I have some ideas and where I want to take my business, and I just want to be much more focused on getting those ideas in place and in line.
Okay, so focus is big. Bring it in.
Focus
so you're talking about your focus. Okay. Let's bring it in. What do you want?
I want,
come on now.
A business, like my business? Or I'm currently, I don't know.
Tell me what you want. What? See,
you know what?
Here's the deal. See, here's the deal. Yes. We just talked about it, knowing what you want. Focus is so broad, so even if you want to perform, bring it in. See, focus is out here, and you can't work out here. Even when I said we're spread out, but we need to be together, bring it in so we can start building one. So what is it that you want that you can build on that's going to make you perform better?
I feel like I'm not getting I don't know what you mean.
Right, and it's simply you don't know what I mean and you don't know where you're going. So let's just bring it down.
Because I know where I am, and I'm saying...
You want focus in what? Let's bring it in. Focus in what?
Okay, so right now...
Give me one thing. You want focus in what?
My business.
Okay, your business is?
Financial, insurance, estate planning.
Okay, so you want to focus on what? To do what?
Estate. Let's say estate planning.
Okay.
If you want me to pick, because I'm already doing the other two.
Okay.
So let's say the estate planning is what I'm developing now.
Okay. So how are you developing? What are you doing? Give me 3 steps that you're doing.
I've reached out to an association I have a mentor, and I think those are only really two that I can come up with right now.
And thank you. And one of the things, you have to give her a hand, right? Because a lot of the times, you can take that right back. A lot of the times we say that we want something, but we don't actually know exactly what it is that we want. You know what I mean? And how we going to get there. So you have to develop that plan. See, it's all about planning and working it out. So the plan, so even when you're talking about running your race at your pace, so your pace should be that plan, right? So the P is the plan, right? And then you got to take action on the plan. And then you got to get committed to the action part of it. And then you got to execute this thing. See, what knowing that is the only thing that's going to start the race. See, we sit back and say we want better, but we don't know what better is. And we all will say that, excellence is available and we're running and we're moving, but we're not going anywhere. So you find yourself in the same spaces at all times. And it goes back to your plan that you have developed for yourself. So even when you're talking about your body plan, see, there should be a plan for each and every one of them. Do you got a body vision? Do you have a relationship vision? Do you have a business vision? Do you have a bank vision? See, they're all separate, but they're together because one builds the other. Did you know that in corporate, that the size of your bottom line got something to do with your behind? Yeah. You want to do something about your bottom line, you got to get rid of your big behind. That's a tweetable from the United States government. Yeah. It's a statistic that for those of us that are unhealthy, and we know what we have, that especially if that we're doing it, our productivity, take note of the P, slows us down. So if you got asthma and you can't breathe, you slow down. If you're overweight, you can't walk the stairs, you slow down. You get tired, you're going to bed, you slow down. So you have to know what is it that you want in your body. Then what is it that you want? Like build your body, your avatar. Just like we build the avatar for a man. Build your avatar. I want him 6'2", tall, dark, chocolate drop. Wait, I can what? I know I want the size shoe I want him to have. Come on now. Come on now. Take note of the P's. That's a whole nother P power because there's a whole lot of power in the ding-a-ling. Let me tell you, that's a whole nother story, right? That's a round table right there. That's another P power right there. We'll get into that later on. But in the intimate sessions, we'll get to that later on, right? So, and that's what it is. So we need to talk about that because it has power in what we do, how we be. So you got to grab your power back. And understanding that your power really is in your pump. I got my pumps on today. Normally I have my 5 insurance, but I got my 3 insurance because 3 weeks ago I fell 30 feet out of my attic. So, but I can stand here today and drop it like it's hot. But that comes from preparation. Yes. I prepared for that fall. What are you preparing for? Just like Bobette said, what are you preparing for? So you have to prepare for what's coming next. If you're in your 40s, you need to be preparing for 50 right now. If you're in your 50s, you need to be preparing for 60 right now. If you're in your 60s, you need to be preparing for 70. See, because if you plan to stand where you are, you need to be running to where you want to be. That's what this is all about in your body, your business, your bank, your relationships. That's how you perform better. You gotta know what you want. It goes right back to you. So even as I was coming through the cancer and healing, I asked God, like, how do I get out of this bed? I didn't get an answer. He just threw me out the bed. So one day I fell. And that's another story, but I really did. I couldn't move, and I wasn't expecting to move. But when I got up the next day, I moved, but I wasn't expecting it. So I moved with a little force, which I didn't think I had, and I fell on the floor. So when my husband came in the room, of course, I told him God threw me out the bed. But again, you don't know how much power you have until you try. It's not about, even if you start in finishing, but you got to have some staying power to get to the finish line. And that's what that's all about. So even as you go through and building your businesses, your life, your family, and everything, you know, it's about the power that you have. You know, a lot of times we think we're being tested, but there's no test or tested for weaknesses. But what's going on is us discovering our strengths, our power. That's what it's all about. So because we don't realize as Black women how powerful we are. See, because right here, what we at, BlackWomen Takeover. Let me hear y'all say it. BlackWomen Takeover. So when your body and your brain start telling you, you don't want to do this, I'm too tired, this is what I want y'all to say, because I want y'all to repeat after me. When your body, when that negative committee in your head start talking to you, and you want to tell them to go shut up and sit down somewhere, I want you to repeat this to yourself. 1, 2, 3, I don't want to hear that crap. Let me hear you. 1, 2, 3. I don't want to hear that crap. You got to say it loud and you just like that. Let me hear you again. 1, 2, 3, I don't want to hear that crap. That's right. And that's what you tell yourself when you're beating up on yourself. I don't want to hear that crap. Go take your behind somewhere and sit down. But you're really talking to your alter ego. I know y'all got about 5 of them in there. You got to shut them up and sit them down so you can move. Because movement doesn't occur until when? Until when? Until when? That's right, you gotta move. And this is how you move. There is 8 strategies that I use every single day to help me move. Y'all wanna know what those are? Oh, that wasn't convincing. Y'all wanna know what those are? Yeah. Those are 8 strategies that I have. And it's 8, I call them doctors because they're healers, right? The first one is Dr. Prayer. You gotta pray. That's number 1. Number 2 is Dr. Spirit is number 1. You got to pray. Number 2 is Dr. Meditation, right? You got to be still. We so busy running around. We talking to God, but we ain't being still long enough to hear what he got to say. So you got to be still. And then there's Dr. Hydration. Water. It is huge, you know? And then there's Dr. Nutrition, right? You got to eat some color, y'all. Y'all see I'm in color? I got color going on. You need some color in your life. It makes you happy. You know, you got to have color in your foods, in your life. It's just vibrant. You know, it just brings on the sun. It just reminds me of the sun. You know, I don't worry about the cold as long as I can see the sun. You know, because it gives you life. So then there's the doctor movement, right? My clients say, well, Candace, you know, how often do I have to do this? And I said, well, as often as you eat. Y'all catch that? Okay, I just want to make sure you caught that. Caught it. Got to catch that one. The body is designed to move. It's electricity. These are the things that's your power. So you got to plug into them every single day. This body, your body, your body, your body is a piece of electricity. So what drives electricity? You got to plug it in, right? What y'all plugging into? Where you getting your power from? Is it from Dr. Spirit? Is it from Dr. Meditation? Is it from Dr. Exercise and Dr. Nutrition, Dr. Hydration? Is it from Dr. Social Fun? When the last time y'all just had a butterball laugh? Let me hear y'all laugh. Come on, let me just hear it. On demand. On demand. You need to be able to do that on demand. My boss used to tell me, if I would just laugh out in his face and say, like, I'm trying to understand what you're saying. On demand, you need to have it. You need to have fun. We forget about the kid in us. So you gotta bring up that 8-year-old girl. You gotta bring her out. You need to be between 8 and 80 every single day. Your 8-year-old gonna keep you young. Your 80-year-old self is gonna tell you if you're gonna be in order when you get there. See, we're so busy trying to build a legacy and build up our money that we forget about our body. So the question I want to ask you is, your body gonna match your bank when you get older? See, that's what you have to do. And then there's Dr. Air and Sunshine, right? Got to get outside. You got to get some air. Especially as entrepreneurs, we're stuck behind a computer every day. 12, 14 hours a day. Did y'all know sitting is the new smoking? Yeah. Sitting is the new smoking. It's a bad habit. A bad, bad habit. All the electricity cut off from everything that you're sitting down on. So you got no circulation. You want to know why we got inflammation in the knees and we can't wake up and we can't move and can't stretch. You're sitting too much. Get up. You want to know something, how to get some focus and how to get creative while you're sitting at your computer? Alarm yourself and plank every hour. I just had to get that in. That's a shameless plug. But listen, plank, plank, plank. It works. It brings on everything. I remember when I met Nicole and was on the radio show and we was on Georgia Avenue. And she said, Chick, and using my words too, right? She said, Chick, I'm going to get to it. We going to plank. I'm going to do it. I'm like, but when? She's like, I'm going to let you know. I said, so you know that tomorrow ain't promised. Like the next moment ain't promised. So you got a minute? So how about we do it here? She's like, we on the ground. Our behinds is out on Georgia Avenue. And we planked on Georgia Avenue on the concrete. And she's been planking ever since. Yeah, she's been planking ever since. See, because it only takes a minute to change something, and that's what this is. And the last doctor before I get out of here is Dr. Sleep. I saved that for last because it's the most important. It's the most important. As an entrepreneur, I hear some people say, I'm going to sleep when I'm dead, but dead is coming real fast if you don't go to sleep. You got to go to sleep. Between the hours of 10 and 2 is where your body rejuvenates itself. You hear yourself saying, man, I went to bed at 180, I woke up at 199, right? And you wait, and you do when you don't go to sleep. Because here's what happens. Through the day, your body builds about 1 billion cells, right? When you go to sleep, especially between 10 and 2, and 10 and 2 is when your body goes into REM, which is rapid eye movement. You go into unconsciousness, right? So when you get there, your body sheds the cells, right? It sheds all the bad stuff, and it brings on the new. But most of us don't get there. So you know what happens to them bad cells? They split and go back in. So instead of having 1 billion bad, now you got 2 billion bad. So now the belly just goes here and here and here and here. So the body starts saying, this chick don't love me. This chick ain't doing what she's supposed to do. So if you aim to take over the world like we are here, hashtag BlackWomen Takeover, you got to have a love affair with yourself. And you got to visit those 8 doctors, 8 strategies, no matter how you do it. If you're ready to perform better, you have to do this for you. See, we're consistently doing for our family, our kids. But if you drop dead here right now, what's going to happen to them? See, that's just some real talk. You know, you got to say, what the heck does that have to do about business? Well, let me ask you, what the heck do you have to do about business? You're in business, right? So if you don't take care of you, what's going to happen to your business? So it's all about performing. So if you want to perform well, if you want to do better, you want to be mindful of your intake. And these are 8 strategies that will get you there. You know, as a coach, as a EQ guidance, that's what I help you through. I help you build body equity. I help you build mind equity. So you're able to transform and perform better on every level. And we stop at each level. See, we're so busy trying to get to level 15 that we omit 1 through 10. And that's across the board. So you have to take the steps and go the distance. And I actually have an ebook that I can give to you guys for this, that I've actually written about all of these 8 doctors that you can do it. So in order to get this, you can text the word, I'm going to just say take over. See, because we're taking over, y'all, especially if you visit these doctors daily. We are taking over. BlackWomen Takeover. I need you to text your first name, your last name, your email address to 301-752-8737. Again, that number is 301-752-8737. 301-752-8737. That's your first name, that's your last name, and your email address, and I will send you that ebook. And it is so worth it to actually just go and visit these doctors. And you can't visit all 8 of them at once. Again, don't try to add it on. See how we talked about it? If you're going to add prayer on and you're going to add it on for an hour, what you taking away? If you add meditation on for 5 minutes, what you're taking away? What you're putting in place of these new habits? Because in order to create these new habits, you got to get rid of some bad ones. So for everything habit you new one you put on, you got to take a bad one away so it can equal out, so it can stay in alignment. If you don't, you're always going to be out of alignment when you think about it. And understanding is all about a decision, and you get to decide. See, the power of the P, it's a mind thing. It's all about your perception when you talk about what do I have to prepare for? What do I have to practice? And what processes do I have to put in place? Right? And understanding the outcome is the product, and that's you. You are the product. And it's all a mind thing. So the mind is master. The mind is the master power. And we are mind. And evermore, it takes the tools of thought, the shaping what we will. Your mind brings forth 1,000 joys, 1,000 ills. We think secret, and it comes to pass. Our mind is a looking glass. Your inner picture will determine your outer world. What you think about, you bring about. Ladies, BlackWomen Takeover, BlackWomenpreneur. The power is in your hands. You get to decide. I am Candace Camille. My time is up. Thank you so much. I will see you guys on the next one. All right. But you know what? Take over. Take over. Take over. Let me hear y'all. Take over. We're going to bring Kim up. Take over.
Oh my goodness. Can we hear? Yes.
You inspire me so much.
I mean, so I have to say, I pride myself in not going to the doctor. But I think I can date a few, right? I'm a natural girl, right? I'll go to the napropath and all of these other people. And I never really wanted to go to a traditional doctor. So I love these alternatives that Dr. Candace Camille has given to us, the performance expert, the wellologist, because I can date Dr. Hydration. Right? I can do a little something with Dr. Spirit.
Come on now.
And these are all of the doctors that we need in our life. So make sure that you take advantage of the book that she has written on doing the doctors. I think that should be a new name, Do the Doctor, right? Do with the doctors.
Oh, that's some good intimate talk that's coming up.
Right, there you go, Do the Doctors. All right, so we are getting ready to go and continue on with our BlackWomen Takeover. We are having a phenomenal time here. We are enjoying the energy that's in the room. And for all of you that are out there online, we love you too. And so at this point in time, we're going to bring up our next round of broadcasters. So if you can begin to make your way over to the stage, we would love to see you over here. So let's have Kim Martin, Stephanie D. Barnes, Tina, Donetta Watson, Sharman Anderson, and Yolanda Cox. Come on over.
Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. You're going to be in here, but we're going, but I'll tell them that. Okay. So what you guys going to do, and they're going to call you up to the stage, and you're just going to go over what you're going to talk about. 2 minutes, and where you're going to be, like, and we're going to go into your workshop, and then, but we'll tell them. We're going to go back up and tell them. You just tell them who you are, you know, and what you're going to talk about, and tell them to come and see you in your workshop, and we're going to tell you who you are. We're going to call them one at a time.
Talk 2 minutes because I'm talking.
Oh, you're going to talk. Come on. It's not option. No, it's not option. Come on. Are you ready? Okay. You ready? Okay. Okay. I love my dual roles, right? I get to just bring it all the time. See, that's what happens when you get your energy up and you're able to do this. But next we have some absolutely amazing presenters that's going to come up and tell you who they are, what they do, and what they're going to talk about in the next workshop that we have for you. So the first presenter we have is Kim Martin. Come on up, give her a hand, give her a hand, give her a hand.
So, good evening, Black CEOs, Black women CEOs. My name is Kim Warren Martin, and what I do, I'm an author, a speaker, a coach, and a consultant. And the why am I here? Help me out, please. Why am I here? I promised I was listening. I was listening. Oh, okay, so I'm actually going to be talking about setting the environment for success. So I believe that success is an inside job, and we're going to be talking about very little about external, but mostly about internal and what we need to do I'm going to share 3 tips and tools for setting the environment for success so we can have a hashtag epic 2018. Thank you.
I'm going to stand down here right here. Me and these steps ain't working right now in this hip. So we got Miss Tina Flood coming to the stage next. Come on.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Tina Flood. I'm from New Jersey. I am the owner of No Fear University, which is an inspirational and motivational tutoring company. I'm going to be talking about letting your inner connection guide your outer direction and how to become the best you and live the best life that you were made to live, and really owning your purpose, and then just going and really honing in on that so that you can create and design the you were supposed to be and you were created by God. So that's what I'm going to be talking about.
All right, hands. Come on, Donetta. Come on. All right, next we got Miss Donetta Watson.
Hello, everyone. I am Donetta Watson. I am the launch strategist. And what I do is I teach you, first of all, how to identify who and what God said you are and what He's placed in your hand. Once you identify what you have in your hand, then you've got to write a plan. And so I teach you how to write a business plan, but we call it writing the vision and making it plain, so whoever readeth it can run with it. So we're going to do some work today.
So
we'll see you later.
That's good. Come on. Pass the mic to her. Okay, we have Miss Yolanda coming up next. Come up. There we go.
About these states.
Hi, everybody. I'm Yoli Cox, and I am the owner of Breathe Fitness. I'm also the CEO of Let It Out. And today, when you join me, we are going to talk about how to get out the bed. What does that mean, really, right? I mean, we all want to be successful. We all want to do more and have more, but sometimes life gets in the way. And we got to find our way to get out the bed and get that done. So coming from a standpoint of dealing with loss and grief and how to get beyond that and really see through to where your destiny is, where your vision is going to take you, and how to take everything that you have inside and let it out so you can get out the bed and do more. I'll see you soon.
Coming up next. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. Hi. First, let me say I'm so excited to be here. Like, I'm in Tampa and it's cold, and I'm still just, trying to figure out why. So my name is Charmin. My name is Charmin Anderson. I am the founder of CNA Enterprises. We start, market, and brand nonprofit organizations. Also, I am the author of Amazon best-selling book, Behind My Smile, Every Woman's Worst Nightmare. But today, I'm going to talk to you guys about it's time to shift. And in order to shift, you have to get in the ring with your most important opponent ever, that is yourself. So I'm going to teach you some skill sets that I have used to teach you how to learn how to fight for yourself and become present in your own life by learning to turn the lights on in your own life. Thank you.
On this mic. All right, here we go. So knowing what room that you want to go to, we have one more presenter that's coming, but Dr. D just with Stephanie Barnes, she'll be back. She just had to take a break for a second, and she's coming back, but she will be here in this room as well, which is the BlackWomen Takeover, and Kim will be in here. For the Big Ideas room, you got Tina and Donetta will be in the Big Ideas room. In the Change Your Life room, it will be Charmin and Yolanda. We Run the World will be Ayana and Lisa. All right, so again, in the BlackWomen Takeover room, it's Kim and Stephanie. Big Ideas is Tina, Donetta. Change Your Life is Charmin and Yolanda. We Run the World, Ayana and Lisa. Any questions? Y'all ready to roll? Change Your Life, yes. Oh, wait a minute now. Look who just walked in. Come on now. See, I get to introduce my ride and die chick, right? That's coming up here. Right right now, Dr. Stephanie Barnes. Come on, chick, bring it.
Hello, how are y'all? I changed up on you. Well, I am so excited. I will be coming to the stage a little bit later. But I'm going to be helping you to recognize the CEO in you. Because I believe that every woman deserves to be the CEO of her life so she can be a CEO in her business. So I will be helping you to recognize the CEO in you because you need to show up like the CEO that you are every day. So I'm looking forward to doing that later on. So y'all ready? You don't sound like it. I don't think y'all lie because that didn't sound like a room full of CEOs. Maybe I'm talking to the receptionist. I don't know. I'm going to try this again. Are y'all ready? All right then. Well, I will be back later.
Okay, come on, babe.
Oh, I like that music.
I'm telling you. Listen, we just got to give CJ 5-star just some love because he is really, come on, give him a round of applause. And before you guys know it, and the guys has just been serving us all day, you have the photographer that's over here, Mayla, just, give him a round. You got the DJ. We got, the CEO himself back here, the $1 billion brand man, Trevor Ox and Shay and Jerry that just walked up out of the rooms. Just giving them because this is their vision and everything that they have to bring together. But they let us, or rather, we kind of threw them. Let me just be clear. But anyway, they came in here just because they know this is something as, Black women in a takeover is what's needed. What's needed. And to go one further, they know that's what we want, right? That's what we want. That's what we desire. So some of our wants and our desires was filled here today. And that's what this is all about. So it's the hashtag what?
Black Women Takeover.
Let me hear that. I was convincing. Come on.
Black Women Takeover.
And Epic 2018. That's what we are getting ready to have here. So if you guys are ready, if you're standing here, whatever room that you're going to, we're getting ready to bring Kim Martin to the stage here. That's going to be in this stage, and you got the list of all the presenters in the other stages. So we are getting ready to get started. Kim Martin, where you at? Where you at? Come on, here we go. Enjoy your presentations, ladies, and make sure you get some takeaways and bring them back so we can all hear about it while we prepare all the stages to get ready. Here we go. Here we go.